Dear friends, dear spectators, welcome to the second day of Ekaterinburg Grand Slam 2018 here in Russia. As you can see on the big screen, we will start the second day in less than 10 minutes. So, for today, we have 7 kilogram weight categories. These categories are for men under 81, under 90, under 100 and over 100 kilos. And for the women under 70, under 78 and over 78 kilos. We wish all athletes the best of luck and fair competition here in
Hello and welcome to Ekaterinburg and day 2 of the Ekaterinburg Grand Slam. Russia's fourth largest city, Ekaterinburg is an architectural mix of glittering new, constructivist modern and ecclesiastical splendor. We're in the Ekaterinburg Palace of Sports and we're about to get underway with all the contests on day 2, and I'm delighted to be sitting alongside former world champion Loreta Kusat-Dorf. Good morning, Loreta.
Good morning, Sheldon, and yes, I'm looking forward to the second day of competition. We've had some outstanding performances yesterday and I think we're going to see a lot more happening today.
We've got 7 weight categories to bring to you today. It's the heavier weight categories. Let's start by taking a look at the top 4 seeds in each of those weight categories, and then Loreta will come in with her picks for the day. We'll start by taking a look at the top 4 in the under 81 kilo category. The number 1 seed is Frank de Wit of the Netherlands. The number 2 seed is Said Molay of Iran. The number 3 seed is Zabeda Rekviashvili of Georgia. And the number 4 seed is Fujiwara Sataro of Japan. Who are we looking at in the under 81 kilo
Well, this
category?
is a very competitive weight category indeed. 28 competitors in the under 81 kilograms. But looking at the list of outstanding performers in the past, we've got Rekviashvili of Georgia. For me, has got to be a favourite. In Paris, he took a silver medal. Last year was bronze medalist here. So I think he could do that one better getting to the final. Be one to watch anyway. Mulya of Iran. Again, he's the number 2 seed. He got a gold medal in Dusseldorf in the World Championships, bronze medalist. Again, a very strong competitor, but it really is up to the day of the performance from these athletes. But those are my 2 hot favourites.
The Russians have got the current Olympic champion at under 81 kilos. So who's the backup? Because we haven't got him taking part.
Well, looking at 1 or 2 of the Russians, let's see.
Vorobev, maybe Ivan Vorobev.
Yes, Vorobev. He got a gold medal in The Hague last year. So, again, he's on form and is home territory. So there's a possibility. Well, I think he could come through for a medal. Whether he will get through into the final, we're still to see, really. But anything's possible.
And then maybe Murat Khabachirov. Given that the Russians have got such strength at that weight, we could have a look at those 2.
Also Semenov, also in Tunis, took the gold medal, and also in Antalya as well, a gold medalist. So is very capable of taking the gold spot and these level events.
Right. Okay. Let's take a look at the top 4. In the top 4 seeds in the under 90 kilo category. The number 1 seed is Alexander Kukolia of Serbia. The number 2 seed is Tot Christian of Hungary. The number 3 seed is David Klamet of the Czech Republic. And the number 4 seed is Gantulga Altenbanger of Mongolia.
Well, I think the strongest, the more competitive weight category, again, we've got 20 athletes participating, but it will come out from Pool C and D. I think we've got 2, obviously, for me, is a very strong contender. He's on form at the moment. Took a silver medal here last year. And Gantulga, for me, bronze medalist in Dusseldorf, and Antalya, a gold medalist, Hoyhot, a bronze. Again, he's able to reach at the final stages and medal really well. He's a consistent fighter and, again, a top favourite for a medal.
Okay, let's take a look at the top 4 seeds in the under 100 kilo category. The number 1 seed is Michael Korel of the Netherlands. The number 2 seed is Sirjanix Miklos of Hungary. The number 3 seed is Kazbek Zankishiev of Russia. And the number 4 seed is Toma Nikiforov of Belgium.
Well, I'm going to go for the number 2 seed, Sujenics of Hungary. He got a gold medal here last year in the Masters, a bronze medal in Zagreb, a gold. He's, again, a very consistent fighter and is very familiar to this this territory, and I think that could do the double here and take the gold medal again. But he has got those challenges. You've obviously Zankishiev of Russia is a strong contender. He took a gold medal in Hague, also a gold in Tbilisi last year, and in Hojhot a bronze. So again, he's got to be a top favourite for Russia to take a medal, if not get into the final.
Well, the other 2 Russians I like down there are Adlan Bizultanov and Niyaz Ilyasov. They're 2 really
strong competitors.
Yeah, excellent fighters. Look out for them as well. Right, let's take a look at the top 4 seeds in the plus 100 kilo category. The number 1 seed is David Mura of Brazil. The number 2 seed is Guram Tusishvili of Georgia. The number 3 seed is Rafael Silva of Brazil. And the number 4 seed is Roy Meyer of the Netherlands.
Again, I think the very competitive part of this draw is in Pool C and D. And Tushishvili of Georgia, for me, is the strong favourite. He's one of the young ones that I feel that's coming through. I think he's someone to watch towards the Olympic Games, and been keeping a close eye on this young man for some time. So for me, he's a top favourite of getting into the final. But you also have Grol of the Netherlands, world and European medalist, and Silva, you have world bronze medalist. Again, this is going to be a very tough half, and I think those will be the majority of the medals will come from that group.
I think there are problems in the draw as well for the Russians, because it's not their strongest weight category. They've been searching for a plus 100 kilo category fighter for a long time. Tumenov up in Pool 1. Well, he's drawn that there's David Mura, the number 1 seed up there, that he's going to have to deal with.
Yes.
In Pool B, Shakbazov, he may not get past the Uzbek in round 1, and then Stefan Hedgie, and then to the Japanese and Roy Meyer. So you're going to struggle to get through there.
That's going to be a horrible draw there.
Tamerlan Bashayev, who's probably their best bet. Unfortunately for him, he's drawn against Tusishvili in the first fight, so that's a really big struggle. And Javad Majoub is in there anyway. And then down in the bottom half, Anton Brashev, you've got Vahaviak, the fast improving Belarusian, and they're in there with Rafael Silva. So there's real problems for the Russians to even get on the podium.
Yes,
I think it's going to be very tricky.
It's definitely a very competitive weight category there.
Right, let's take a look at the top 4 seeds in the under 78 kilo category for women. It's the number 1 seed is Mayra Aguiar of Brazil. The number 2 seed is Luisa Malzahn of Germany. The number 3 seed is her teammate Anna Maria Wagner, Germany. And the number 4 seed is Albina Amangeldieva of Kazakhstan.
Well, 2 favourites. The number 1 seed is what, for me, shines out a lot more on this paper. Portela, Masters.
Oh, sorry, I went for the under 78 kilo category. I jumped to the under 78 kilo category. Let's do that one first, just seeing as I've just called them out.
Right. Aguilera, world champion, obviously the number 1 seed. Again, for me, strongest contender for the gold medal. But one young lady that has impressed me throughout the sort of months is Dolin of France.
Yeah.
She took a bronze medal in Tunis at the beginning of the year. Has been quite impressive, and someone that's pushing forward. And Takayama, again, is a very impressive young lady who took a medal last year in Dusseldorf. Hasn't been on the scene for a bit, but again, a very consistent and a strong competitor for this weight category.
Right, let's take a look at your picks in the under 78, under 70 kilo category then. Slightly back to front, but go ahead.
Yes. Well, Portela, again, go for Brazil, the number 1 seed, Masters gold medalist in Tunis, was a gold medal in Abu Dhabi last year as well. So she, again, is out for gold. She's the number 1 seed. The young lady that's coming through, though, quite strong is Jemima Yates-Brown, and has had some great performances, and has come back from a plague of injuries, but has come back very, very strong and determined. Down in the Pool D, you've got Tanaka of Japan. Last year was a bronze medal in the Tokyo Grand Slam. Again, a very strong contender for a medal here in the under 70s.
Right, in the plus 78 kilo category, the number 1 seed is Larissa Cherik of Bosnia-Herzegovina. The number 2 seed is Maria Suelen Altman of Brazil. The number 3 seed is Beatriz Souza of Brazil, and the number 4 seed is Caroline Weiss of Germany.
Well, we've got 8 judokas here participating. Siric, the number 1 seed, 5th in Dusseldorf, Masters 3rd place in the World Open Championships, a silver medal. She is on paper very, very strong competitor. She's a consistent athlete. She does make mistakes now and again. And Athema, again, from Brazil. The Brazilian team are quite strong and very competitive. But I think it really will be between the number 1 and 2 seed in this competition.
And speaking of Brazilians, there is a Brazilian on mat 2 for the opening contest in round 1 of the under 100 kilo category. Rafael Buzacarini of Brazil facing Ozbetlashvili of Georgia. It's Buzacarini in the white judogi, Ozbetlashvili in blue. Yeah, just going back quickly to that plus 100 kilo category for men, I genuinely think that this could be a shutout for the Russians. The draw does not favour them at all. First of all, they don't have Renat Saidov, the really tall Russian, who's one of their better fighters, and they don't have Alexander Mikhailin, who's normally in the mix.
Yes.
So they're missing a couple of their really big names. There's no Anton Krivobokov, so it's possible that 2 or 3 of their top fighters are not here. That comes down to really their second string. I don't think, with the greatest of respect to the plus 100 kilo category fighters from Russia, I don't think they're going to cut it.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall order for them. There's no doubt about it. And the stronger ones were competing last weekend in Antalya.
Yes.
Not in Antalya.
Agadir, yeah.
Agadir in Morocco. So possibly the back-to-back was just that little bit too much for some of them, especially someone like Mikhailin, who's that more mature athlete.
Give him a break.
And I think he's had a few rounds there. So, and he was really challenged throughout that competition.
David Ozbetlashvili of Georgia is the Georgian on the mat. I know there are quite a few Georgian fans watching on. They'd have been spoilt for choice because you had Tamaz Kirakozashvili on mat number 1. He's just won his contest against Denis Kalanin of Russia. That's already happened.
Well, it seems to be a bit of a battle here. It's the first match of the day and the first round. So for both these athletes, it's that warm-up period, and it's the opportunity to see how the day is going to really go. Brazilian comes in with the drop Cianagi. It was a little bit deeper on the first approach and felt a little bit under pressure as he came in for the second stab at the drop Cianagi. Ozbetlashvili, they're picking up the first Judo for Georgia. The Usota into the Sodi Makakomi there. Nicely finished. Scoring a Wazari, I believe. So no score was given for that, but a very impressive start for the Brazilian with the Sodi. Drop Cianagi there. Well, they've given it now, so there you have it. The Wazari scored.
We're in business. We won't have to stand up then.
Yes, a few technical problems yesterday that the Wazaris weren't shown on our screen, but
they're done now.
Now we have it all in full working order.
Could be that it's because Ellie's in the chair.
I think so, definitely. She got those men sorted out.
Thanks to Elisabetta Frattini, who's joined us up here in the commentary spot.
Up in the clouds. Well, the Brazilian now, as you can see, with the Wazari Setiapon finishing the first match and in style. someone to watch throughout the day. Started off very strong indeed. And he'll be challenged in the next match, though, where he will be up against the number 1 seed from the Netherlands, Corel, a little bit later on.
But I think we can stay with the under 100 kilo category. We've got another first round contest coming up. Giuliano Lopocchio of Italy faces Khaibullah Magomedov of Russia. It'll be Lopocchio in the white judogi, Magomedov in blue. I know that we got close to pronouncing his name correctly there, because if we hadn't, Elisabetta would have turned round and sorted us out. So we must have come close to the pronunciation. We had Fabio Basile up here this morning.
I know, it was quite nice to see him again. It was one of those, I thought we would see you in the final, but talking to him, he was saying that he got a medal. He was quite happy with his performance. He lost concentration in that semi-final, but he came back to take the bronze, and that was the most important thing for him, is that he did medal yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday he came up saying, see you in the final. You know, and then this morning when I said, oh, you said I'd see you in the final, he said, final block.
And then he decided to give us a little bit of a dance lesson. Well, he was grooving
with
definitely.
With Edwidge Gwend.
Gwend, yes, a real favourite of mine. And yes, a little dancing routine there. In fact, it was better than his judo performance. So
I thought the body popping one was quite good.
Definitely is one to watch.
Single score of Wazari for Magomedov over the Italian. Plenty of time left for Lopocchio to come back.
Let's see Nagisi Otoshi there as he follows through, tries to drive his opponent down. Magomedov keeping the pressure on.
Men under 100 kilo, tatami 3. In white judogi, representing Georgia.
Well, Lopocchio really has to start changing the tactics out here. Stepping up a little bit more pace and trying to come back and dominate in this contest. At the moment, the Russian, with that left high collar grip, controls quite nicely. Kosota attempt there from the Italian, but he left himself very overstretched and vulnerable there, and the counter was there waiting for the Russian, and scored the Wazari to then make a Wazari Assetti upon finish. So just into the second half, as you could see, the Kosota. Magomedov, all he needed to do was to take that leg out to avoid the attack, and the upper body control was there waiting. With a lovely finish there for Wazari.
In white for Mongolia, Bayanuch Gajadamba. In blue for Italy, Antonio Esposito.
Right, who have we got coming up now? We're still in the under 100 kilo category, aren't we? Khlagvasirin Otgan Batar of Mongolia faces Mikita Zvirid of Russia. It's Khlagvasirin in the white judogi, Zvirid in blue.
Well, the Belarusian does have the slight height advantage, as you can see there. He throws that right hand right over the back, taking the belt. The Mongolian stretching out in those arms, trying to keep the distance between him and his opponent. Mongolian hooks in with the Ouchigari, hops around there. The strong Belarusian's leg coming across. Some very strong attacks coming from both these athletes. Drop Sianagi from the Mongolian. Mongolian with the left hand on the lapel, controlling the sleeve quite nicely to his opponent's left side, working him on the edge there. Zirid backing off on that edge, a very dangerous position to be in right now. Mongolian finishing with the drop Sianagi attempt. Well, there you have it, the first Shido being awarded to the Belarusian for defensive and pushing on to the, below the belt line.
He just held on to the Mongolians, the skirt of the jacket below the belt and pushed in. Sorry,
Yes.
just again for illustration purposes only. I could get sacked for that, you know. So
Keep your hands above the table.
right. Oh,
Marote
yes.
Sianagi, and lovely finish.
And that under the old rules, that would not have been Ippon.
No,
But for me, that's Ippon.
it is definitely
you
a bomb
know.
for me. It was a nice attack. And again, he pressurized him on the edge, but there, as he turned to come back into the field, into the play, it walked straight on to the Marote Sianagi, drop Marote Sianagi. Beautifully executed there,
See,
wasn't it?
You know, there was the old argument that he doesn't land him flat on his back because he goes on the shoulder and he rolls across the back. Now, as far as I'm concerned, if somebody threw me, you know, in the club like that, I'm not going to say, oh, that's not Ippon, that's Bazari, because they're going to go and do it again.
Yes.
And I'd rather that they didn't, you know. So,
No, because that looked very sore
so I'm
landing.
going to say, oh, nice one, mate, that was good.
I know.
You know, and then you move on because, you know, if you're having a good practice, someone who's done that once thinks, well, I've done that already.
Yes.
I'm not going to do it 2, 3, 4, 5 times. It's
That's
not
like
worth it.
that's like
You know?
rubbing salt into the wound, isn't
Exactly.
it? Really, to have to get up and do that all over again.
Right, who have we got coming up next? Yevgenis Borodavko of Latvia. He faces Nut Vasian of Romania. Borodavko in the white judogi, Vasian in blue.
Well, a very strong start for Borodavko. High collar grip comes round the back. That right leg hovering around there for the Uchimata. The Romanian swings in there for the Uchimata. Really didn't get the breaking of balance there. He needed a little bit more movement, but there's the drop Sianagi for Borodavko, the Romanian. Vasian looking to try and create something in the Niwaza.
For Romania, Luka Kurjavo. In blue judogi from Belarus, Daniel Ukete.
Drop Sianagi. Vasian picking up the first Shido in the opening minute of this contest. A little bit of a wake-up call for him. Borodavko once more, you can see with a very strong lapel grip as he draws his opponent to his knees. Vasian really doesn't have very much to block with there. He overpowered quite considerably against the Latvian. And once more comes round the hips, putting the pressure on Vasian, who has now 2 Shidos. Stepping across with a Taitoshi. Nice attack.
She's having a think about it.
Well, the elbow went down to block it.
Yeah,
Um,
he's got away with it.
Vasian with the right hand trying to come round the back to draw his opponent in onto the hips. We know he's got a nice uchimata when he can connect, but as you can see, the right blocking of the inside arm coming over across the head is enough to keep Vassian at bay.
First round, men under 81 kilos, tatami 1. In white judogi, representing Hungary.
Borodavko once more looking to have the more controlling grip as he. But there you have Vassian now with the arm round the waist and controlling quite nicely the hip movement there. For the first time, the Latvian looked a little bit uncomfortable and looked threatened in this contest. That's the first time within this match. But he goes back to having that high collar grip. Sutemi Waza from Vassian. Strong attack. Sadly didn't get the finishing touch to the technique. Borodavko using his feet quite nicely to break up his opponent's balance. Just a little bit more unsettling for the Romanian, who already has 2 Shidos on the board. One more would be the Hansokimaki. Borodavko controlling his opponent's left sleeve. Comes round the back to trap that arm. Vassian avoids the Ouchigari. Ouchigari from Borodavko. Again using his feet very nicely there. It's the drop Sianagi, an attempt to the counter there from Vassian. Looking more and more under pressure as the seconds tick away. Once more, Borodavko gets that right hand onto the lapel. Controls quite nicely, very upright, strong posture. Looking very much in control of this contest. Draws his opponent's head in to get the reaction for the hop through of the Uchimata. Well, is considering all the action that's took place there, Borodavko has controlled this match quite comfortably, but still doesn't have a score. So we're going into the golden score now. Vassian with 2 Shidos. Has been under a lot of pressure against his opponent. And throughout the match has only looked once that he could take a little bit of control, and that's when he had the grip around the back where he has right now, and those hips coming into play. The Kosota, he also has a good Sutemi Waza, but sadly Borodavko was prepared for that one, blocked it quite nicely. Borodavko with a high collar grip, steps across for the Tai Toshi, overpowers his opponent. Vassian with 2 Shidos still, that's causing a major problem for him, and well, there you have the third and final Shido, the Hansokimaki, being awarded to Vassian, and Borodavko takes the win. and goes through to the next round.
Татами 2, весовая категория до 90 килограммов. Первый круг. В белом кимоно представитель России Александр Росляков. В синем кимоно представитель Румынии Эдуард Сербов.
Well, Roslyavko here of Russia in the white. Serban of Romania in the blue. This is the under 90 kilo.
Yeah, round one, 90 kilos. We'd spoken at the beginning about the Russians in the under 81 kilo. That's a nice Ochigari score. We've spoken about the Russians in the under 81 kilo category and the fact that they've got the current Olympic champion.
Yes.
And we were wondering, in the absence of Hassan Khalmuzayev, who was going to fill in for them. Well, Ivan Vorobev of Russia has just taken to mat number 1. Maybe we can go down there and have a look at that.
Yes, that'd be interesting.
My colleagues are involved in a rather intense conversation at the moment, so I'm going to have to attract their attention, and then we'll go down to mat number 1.
Well, in the meantime, we'll be watching this match with great interest.
First round, men under 90 kilo, tatami 3. In white judogi for France, Ibrahim Keita. In blue judogi.
Well, we're moving across to mat number 1.
And in the white judogi, you've got Ivan Vorobev of Russia. He faces Arthur Wright of the United States of America. It's Vorobev in the white judogi, Wright in blue.
Well, already a very strong positive start from Vorobev in the white. See, trying desperately to get that right hand high over in the collar. The American looking a little bit apprehensive. Right, struggling to get control of the grips as the Russian comes over the top there, controlling the head quite nicely with that right hand. He's also got great control of his opponent's right sleeve, and he hooks in with the Ouchigari, stumbling right to the ground. Right, looking to work the feet, trying to break up the balance of the Russian. It's very, very solid, strong structure from the Russian. And it is really battling away to try and take some control in this contest. The American looking really frustrated out there. Always second best on the grips. Russian with that lapel. Now he throws that arm over the top, catching the collar, drawing his opponent's head down. And looking very much in control. Right, steps across, looking for the Osotogari. Moves quite nicely around the mat, very light on his feet. Well, the American got to be careful with the Kosoto attempt that he's working on. It's playing into the Ouchigari of Vorobev. Well, a Shido was awarded and now taken off. Don't think it was necessary. There's been a lot of action in this contest so far. Vorobev drops under right. Vorobyev hooking it with the Uchimata and gets that little bounce off it, throwing his opponent for a pawn. And that was a lovely finish there with just over a half a minute remaining in the contest. Well, Vorobyev there goes into the next round for Russia. Is this going to be the athlete that's going to star in today's performances? Well, based on that first round, it's a great start anyway for Vorobyev.
And to think that he is the number 5.
First round, win under 90 kilos, tatami 2.
5 and beautiful judo indeed.
Heading him, Hassan Karmuzev, Alan Kubetsov, Aslan Lapinigov and Stanislav Smenov. There's a whole host of fighters that the Russians have at that weight, but it was worth having a look, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Right, coming up next, Quentin Joubert of France faces Ivan Petr of Czech Republic. It's Joubert in the white judo gi, Petr in blue. We can stick here, I think. Got another one in the under 81 kilo category coming up in a couple of fights' time. Murat Khabachirov, he's another hot property. We might get to have a look at him if we're not taken somewhere else.
Well, Joubert, as you can see there with the right hand on the lapel, hops in with the Uchimata, turning it into the Makakomi.
Next contest, tatami 2. We start first round, weighing over 100 kilos.
На данный файт вызывается в весе 600 килограммов первый пункт. В белом кимоно представитель Узбекистана Экатerinburg Муратов. В синем кимоно представитель России Руслан Шахбазов.
Petr, they're using his feet quite nicely, working off the lapel grip. Joubert drops in with the Sianagi, finds himself on the receiving end of the Niwaza there. The first Shido goes to blue. Joubert coming once again with the Uchimata. Doesn't get the lift, and he's definitely not got the upper body control as he enters there. Coming up to the halfway mark with 2 minutes 10 seconds remaining.
Next contest on tatami 3. First round, women under 78 kilos.
Татами 3 весовая категория
Joubert
78 килограммов.
comes across, catches the head.
Представительница Казахстана.
Good strong attack, good entry there.
В синем кимоно представительница России Яна Никифорова.
Petr throwing the left hand over the top, trying to trap his opponent's right side. She comes round the back, those long legs stepping across for what looks to be the big harai, but turns it now into a Sutemi Waza attempt, drawing his opponent down into the Niwaza. Sengaku turnover there from Petr, trying to control quite nicely. Needs to get the legs tied up a little bit quicker. Judo looking slightly vulnerable in the ground. There's been a few opportunities there, and just sense there's a little bit of danger down in the ground for the Frenchman. Schuberg coming in with the Ochigari combination of the drop Seoinage, following again for an attempt of a Sutemi Waza, now on top, and very little on offer in the Niwaza. Referee calls mate quite quickly in that situation, and the second Shido now goes to Ivan Petra. Hooks in with those long legs of the Ochigari, comes over the top again, a Sutemi Waza.
Two penalties picked up by the Czech fighter as we come up to what was going to be the golden score period. I always think that you're at a real disadvantage now, having collected two penalties during the normal time. A single Shido in the golden score period puts you out, whereas your opponent can afford to, well, not play around, but certainly the likelihood now of Joubert going out on penalties ahead of Peter is pretty slim. So as long as he keeps a clean sheet, the Frenchman should be okay.
Yes,
can't
definitely.
really lose it from here.
Well, you say that, but it looks like he almost had Tati Shiogatami for the hold down. Petra throwing that arm over the top. If he connects there, he becomes very dangerous indeed. Sutemi Waza continues to work there. Joubert starting to look a little bit tired out there now, and considering he's got the advantage out in this golden score, he's not really capitalizing on that. Petra throws that left hand over the top, the Makakomi hovering around there. Joubert with the Tomonagi. Well, both these athletes have been battling away now for 5 minutes. No score, 2 Shidos to Petra. Joubert trying to control his opponent's arms coming over the top, because he knows that's a real threat for him. Well, that was a very poor drop, Seoinage, and I think possibly deserving a Shido off that. Well, gets away with the drop Seoinage, comes in with the Uchimata, turns it into the Makakomi. Blocked quite nicely from Petra, who works now into the Niwaza, trying to get the rotation over. Turning his opponent in for an Osakomi, but the referee obviously feels the block was there and the capability of getting the turn was almost impossible. Uchimata once more. Oh, well, that looked
I mean, he'd been
awkward on the head, but
he'd been threatening that, hadn't he? The
he
Czech
had
fighter.
showed it so many
Yeah.
times, and Judo, well, he'll be disappointed, but he played into that. He's starting to look very predictable. So there you have it. Uchimata attempt that was very a half-hearted attack and nicely countered.
Tatami 1. First round, weight under 81 kilo. In white, representing Croatia, Judo.
Right, coming up next, Dominic Druzeta of Croatia faces Vartan Kachatrian of Armenia. It's Druzeta in the white judogi, Kachatrian in blue. As ever, you've got the choice of mats, so if you want to watch one of the other mats, just click on that mat. If you clicked on the commentated channel, then wherever Loretta and I go, you'll go with us. But if you want to watch a specific fighter, then click on the mat that they are on, and you'll be able to follow them. Thank you. It's very kind of you.
A lovely attack there from Druzeta, scoring a Wazari in the opening 30 seconds of this contest. A great start for the Croatian as he wraps the legs round for the Sangaku turn. Tries to stretch out to his opponent. There you have it, the Osota, beautifully executed. Well, from that angle, the arm underneath stopped his opponent from going flat on his back, but yep, from there it looked like Ippon. And there you have it, they've changed it. It's been upgraded from a Wazari to Ippon, and Druzeta goes through to the second round.
Right, coming up next on mat 1, first round in the under 81 kilo category. It's a second look at the Russians today. Murat Khabachirov this time faces Davlat Babonov of Uzbekistan. It's Khabachirov in the white judogi, Babonov in blue. And we were talking about the ranking order of the different Russians, and this one is number 6.
Side skip from Khabachirov. Trying to... Oh, the Uchimata there from Bobadov. Russian now looking to turn his opponent over. Traps the head there, using the belt and levering on the back of the neck there for the turnover. Very powerful movement there. And a very uncomfortable situation for the Uzbek. Oh, Bobanov bouncing away there, just staying light on his feet. Toshi attempt there from the Russian. Turns his right side into his opponent, hovering around with that right hand, steps across for the Siotoshi. With 2 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in this contest. Sianagi. Bobanov trying to control. Steps across the Uchimata, turns it into the Makikomi. Kabachirov trying to create an opportunity in the Niwaza.
Quarter-final, women over 78 kilos.
Bobanov there, as you can see, with the left hand on the lapel, throwing the right, but switches through to the left, Uchimata. Now the Russian coming in for the drop, Sianagi. Hasn't got the same advantage of the strong grip as he did in the opening minute and a half in the contest. But Bobanov there picking up the first Shido in the last minute of this match. Tries to stay quite lively on his feet. Has that little habit of the bounce that we see quite often there. Anyone with a good ashiwaza will be picking up on that and be playing into their strengths. The Russian is quite a solid athlete, very powerful indeed. Looks for the Uchimata, came round an opportunity, touched that leg. And it didn't see it, so obviously the angle, but maybe the care system will look it because he was behind the athlete, so didn't actually get a good view. But I'm quite sure when it comes to a mate, they will possibly pick up on that. Ashiwaza attempt from the Uzbek. Now we're going into the golden score. One Shido divides these athletes. Interesting to see if... Well, they didn't see it. Ashiwaza there from Bobanov. Stumbling the Russian. The Usotkari countered by the Uchimata.
First round, the women under 78 kilo, tatami 2, in white. For Poland, Beata Pakut. In blue, for France.
Well, Kabachirov looking a little bit awkward there as he steps across his opponent. Uchimata from Bobanov. Well, it seems to be 1 for 1.
In white, for Brazil, Maria Alteman. She will be in the semi-final.
Only one Shido. Drops Sianagi, that was very deep indeed. There was a lost opportunity to end this golden score there for the Uzbek. Sadly didn't just get that lift and finish to the attack, but there he was so deep in with the drop. Hips were well positioned. Uchimata with the head goes down, he's got to be careful with that. Kabachirov looking now to try and capitalize in the Niwaza. Again, slow to react. Sianagi, well, it looked to be like an Ataya Toshi that turned into the Sianagi.
Women over 78 kilo.
Татами 2 весовая категория свыше 78 килограммов в четвертьфинал. В белом кимоно представительница Боснии и Герцеговины Лариса Цевич. В синем кимоно представительница России Ольга Артошина.
Mrote Sianagi drop and Ippon scored. Well, eventually it was ending up in a nice finish, but it did take its time to get there. Drop Sianagi, drop Mrote Sianagi. Beautifully done. Nicely planted and definitely an Ippon. Well, that is a lovely and a nice finish to what was a real battle and a half of a contest. The Sianagis were always going to be a threat for either one of these athletes. Kabachirov of Russia goes through to the next round with that superb drop. Mrote Sianagi.
The W1, first round, men under 81 kilo. In white for Belgium, Sami Shushi.
Now we've got Shushi of Belgium in the white, Mukwat of Great Britain in the blue. Shushi, the drop Sianagi in the opening seconds of this following over the drop Sianagi of Mukwat. Good start for the young lad from Great Britain. Very powerful athlete indeed. Such great potential for the GB team. Trying desperately to settle in with the grips here, as you can see. The screen drops under his opponent. Kochi attempt. Slightly overstretched on that attack. As you can see at the moment, he's got his sleeve caught up there. The right sleeve needs to break free of that. But Chochi of Belgium picks up the first Shido. Haven't had an attack yet from the Belgium. Good strong controlling left hand on the lapel. But what comes in with the Sianagi once more.
Winner on mat 3.
Well, that opening exchange from Mukwat has really unsettled the Belgium, and he picks up the second Shido.
Souza will be in the
Stepping off the contest area.
78 kilos.
It's part of an avoidance of the Sianagi from Mukwat, who once more
Second round,
attempts that Sianagi.
under 100 kilo. The
Sutemi Waza, Tomanagi,
in white,
scoring a Wazari.
in blue for Austria, Aaron Farah.
And that puts him right in the lead now, halfway into this contest. What? Junior world medalist. Defending there on the Uchimata.
The number 2 winner in
Bit of a
white.
stumble there. We'll pick up a Shido possibly for that. But he avoids the penalty.
Татами 2 весовая категория свыше 78 килограммов в четвертьфинал в белом кимоно.
Good strong grips from Chochi.
Германии. В синем кимоно
There's the slight height advantage. Got those long limbs that can stretch right through. He seems to manage the first grip, but the danger is Makwat with the drop Sianagi. Side skips there. Again looking for a Sutemi Waza. The sense the Uchi Uchimata combination there from the Belgium. Makwat takes the first Shido. 1 minute remaining in this contest. Ippon Sianagi following through, and that's where he needs to really work the time. Looking busy down in the ground without putting himself under any danger at all. With 43 seconds remaining, Makwat leads with a Wazari. Has to be careful of holding his own jacket for avoidance. The Oso Tagari stumbling Makwat onto his knees. Makwat looks again to create an opening down in the Niwaza. Cross grip, left hand thrown over the top by the Belgium. Chochi needs to now start coming back. He's got an opportunity, but he's only got one chance here against Makwat, and I think that chance is almost gone now. Kosota! Oh, and a great attack there. What did so well to defend off that. He was so close of this all going horribly wrong for him, and looking that he was going to go into the golden score, but he hung on, and Makwat goes through to the second round of the 81 kilos. A great effort there from Chochi of Belgium. Almost had him with the Kosota, but sadly wasn't to be for this day.
3 весовая категория 100 килограммов. Второй круг. В белом кимоно представитель России Ильяс Ильясов. В синем кимоно представитель Истанбула.
Well, Makwat will be up against Rekishvili of Georgia. Well, now we're staying with the 81 kilos. We have Semenov representing Russia in the white, Palati of Italy in the blue. Semenov took the gold medal at the beginning of the year in the Tunis Grand Prix, also in Antalya, a gold medalist. A very strong medal favourite here in this competition for Russia. Parlati, junior world bronze medalist. Up and coming youngster from Italy. Oh, lovely Ouchigari scoring a Wazari. Well, what a start for this young man of Italy. Beautifully executed.
Winner of that 2 in white, representing Germany.
Oh, and he does it again. Oh, well, he's given this Russian a bit of a judo lesson here. Oh, well, third time lucky. Well, I think Semenov has got his card marked now. He knows that Ouchigari, and was able to block that quite nicely, but he wasn't able to avoid the Shido for lack of engagement. Well, they've taken it off.
For the Netherlands, Michael Corel. In blue for Brazil, Rafael Uzakarini.
Well, I think that was a little bit harsh, considering that was two very strong attacks. One Awazari. Palati with the head getting pulled down now. Semenov hovering around looking for that Uchimata. Palati stepping across for the Tai Toshi, but leaves himself in a very vulnerable situation in the Niwaza. A very naive mistake to be making here against such a strong Russian opponent. Well, he manages to rescue that mistake. Halfway through this contest. Palate, as you can see, hovering around with Yoso Tagari. Is he powerful enough to get the lift? Well, it was a bit of a 50-50. Yes! Oh, so close with the Osota. Uchigari once more, we've seen, drop to his knees. Well, this junior world medalist is no... Oh, and the lovely counter, scoring a Wazari. But he tries to turn it around, but I think he's in a lot of trouble there with Yosakumi as it's on now. Palate, all that work has just unfolded in front of him. The Wazari was taken off. And a Wazari, well, it's put back on. The Wazari Assetti upon it was the Shido that was possibly taken off. But nicely done. What a start for this Italian, though. Great opening first 2 minutes of the contest. Could have really upset the Russian athlete quite considerably with that beautiful execution of the Ouchigari. Also had him on the Osota, but the Russian managed to settle himself down and take himself into the second round of this under 81 kilo category.
Next contest on the W1. First round, men under 81 kilo. In white for Mongolia, Batmur Altansu. In blue for Japan, Sasaki Takeshi.
Well, Batmung of Mongolia in the white. Sasaki of Japan in the blue. Straight out on the attack with the drops here, coming in with the Wazari. And scoring quite nicely on the shimmy waza for Ippon. Well, Batmunk, as you could see, the drop there, followed it right through, caught the shimmy waza. And there you have it once more. Sasaki.
First round, women under 70 kilo.
And his opening match in the 81 kilo division, and he'll be up against Semenov for a place in the quarterfinal. So now we come to the under 70 kilo category. Bektaski of Kazakhstan and Jemima Yates-Brown of Great Britain. Strong attack there from Yates Brown. Osota drives her opponent backwards. Very powerfully indeed. Very determined young lady from Great Britain.
Here's the beginners. We have golden score on Tatami 2.
Kazakhstan once more looking for that shimmy waza. A little bit of tempting fate there from Yates Brown. Needs to be very careful down there. This young lady Yates Brown, 22 years of age. Sodita Surikomigoshi, as we've just seen an attempt there as one of her favourite attacks. The world ranked 49th. Has been off the scene for some time with serious injuries, but as we can see, coming back very, very strong indeed. One of the latest results that she had was in Rome, the European Open, took the gold medal back in February. The under-23 European silver medalist, now battling away. As you can see, very hyper-flexible there. Bettasky now on the receiving end here in the Niwaza. Bettasky, 23 years of age. World ranked number 40. Sangaku turnover there from the Asian bronze medal champion. Well, there's a real battle with just a minute remaining in this contest. Upon combination of a Koichi Sianagi attempt there from Yates Brown. Sodi switching it through for the Koichi. Draws her opponent down into the Niwaza, trying to create an opportunity down there. Referee calls a halt to it, but will give the Kazakhstan a Shido. So into the last half a minute. Yates Brown countering her opponent there nicely. Didn't get the real lift that she required. Nevertheless, a very strong attack from this very determined young lady from Great Britain. Stab across for that attempt of a Tayatoshi. Drops in for the Sianagi. And now we're going into the golden score. Well, this has been a real battle and a half between these two athletes. Bettasky slapping her face in the start of that golden score just to wake herself up. Well, if she hasn't woken up now, she's in a lot of trouble. Especially on the receiving end of Yates Brown, who's really given the fight to the Kazakhstan. Very powerful young lady from Great Britain. Drops Sianagi again, persevering down on the ground, tries to wrap her opponent over. Just punishing her down in the Niwaza. Reverses, what a lovely little turnover there, and secures the Osakomi quite nicely. As you can see, the Kazakhstan is all tied up there. Nice upper body control, that head controlled very tightly indeed as the clock ticks away. But we are into golden score, just needs to get it to the Wazari. But she's wanting that ippon and takes the win with the Osakomi for ippon and a place in the second round of the under 70 kilos. Well, that was a great start for Yates Brown, whose next match will be against the number 1 seed Portela of Brazil.
Next contest on the W1. First round.
So now we're coming to the under 70 kilos first round in Pool B. Gershek of Hungary in the white, Perrault of France in the blue. Gershek throwing that left arm onto the shoulder there, trying to control the grips of the French. It's quite extreme, the gripping style. A real battle of the Kumikata at this particular moment. Both athletes trying to settle in with the controlling grip. Gershek throws that left arm again, catches the shoulder, but Perrault draws the chin over the arm, drawing down and breaking the power of that left arm.
Welcome in white, representing Hungary, Don Christian. In blue, representing Uzbekistan.
Perrault with the left hand on the lapel, takes her opponent's left sleeve, leaves herself a little bit vulnerable there, gets countered, scores a Wazari.
Second round, men under 100 kilo, determined 2. In white, representing Belgium, Toman Nikiforov. In blue, representing Mongolia, Akwasuren Motkol-Batar.
Well, Gershek frustrating the French athlete quite considerably there, stumbles her opponent with the Kosota, tries to follow it through into the Niwaza. Gershek with the Wazari lead, puts her in a far better comfortable position and halfway through this contest. Again, a counter-attack, but this time for Perrault, evens this contest up. Gershek, as you can see, with that left hand on the collar, trying to draw her opponent's head. French turns the head away, drawing down on that left side. Tempted with the Osotogari. Kochi combination there with the Osota, scoring the Wazari Aseti upon, and the Hungarian goes through to the next round. Well, it was a very interesting battle that went on between these two athletes. Gersak just looking the stronger of the two. Much better control with the upper body. And for that reason takes her through to the next round. So now we have representing Brazil, Barbara Timo in the white and Marlina Zolnikova from Russia in the blue. The Brazilian stepping across, stumbling her Russian opponent. Great opening for the Brazilian, very positive start. Advances with that right leg, throws the right hand across for the Makakomi. Falls onto her face now, putting herself under a little pressure there. Not much of a threat, but definitely uncomfortable position to be in.
Second round, men under 100 kilo, tatami 2.
Zolnikova
Representing France.
circling motion around her opponent, as you can see, very stern-faced,
In blue, representing Latvia.
focusing so deeply into this match as she tries desperately to come through the defences of that right arm you can see there on her left side. Drop Cianagi from Timo. The drop was blocked quite nicely with the Russian. Anticipated it well. Russian throwing that left hand, catches the lapel. Now seeks to take the sleeve grip. Flurry of Ashiwaza attacks there, trying both to stumble each other. Break up the back, drops Cianagi, and beautifully done. Ippon scored, and Timo goes through to the next round in style. And here you have it, that drops Cianagi there, beautifully executed, so deep. Braced upon the Russian opponent, got the reaction she needed, and as she came forward, dropped right underneath her. A beautiful setup and a wonderful finish there. And Timo will be up against in that quarter-final against Gersak of Hungary a little bit later on. Now we have Chantal Wright of the USA and Talicia Kariva of Russia in the blue. USA white, Russia blue. This is the first round of the under 70 kilos for a place in the quarterfinals against Barbara Macic of Croatia.
Do you think she is related to Arthur Wright?
I was just wondering that, yes.
I mean, you know.
Just seen Arthur Wright earlier on, who lost in his first round, and I'm wondering if they look very similar, to be honest.
What, with the beard and that?
Yeah, definitely with the beard. You've obviously seen her as well. No disrespect. She's just got a beautiful complexion, lovely dark features.
I'm not sure if... I don't think so. I mean, I could ask, because it'll be down in the warm-up area, but...
I think there is. There looks to be a similarity there.
Yeah, I mean, out at the same time at an international, same family name, and also in the same similar weight grouping, you know, if
Yes.
one was 48 kilos and the other one was
Quite
100,
tall,
then I'd say no.
long-limbed,
Yeah.
body shape, very, very similar. No, I think there is a family connection there. There's no doubt about it for me.
If someone knows differently, they can message us. Otherwise, we'll work on that assumption then, yeah?
Well, we can find out a little bit
I
later
will,
on.
yeah, I'll do that.
Well, a real battle going on here, and Wright doing extremely well against a Russian opponent. Obviously needs to be a little bit more aware of the edge of the mat, giving away valuable shidos. Both having a shido apiece, a Makakomi attempt there from Chantal Wright, but now leaves herself very vulnerable in the Niwaza, and we know the Russians are very clever down in the ground.
Second round in under 90 kilos.
Chantal coming round, avoiding
In white judo gi representing Serbia, number 1 in the world judo ranking, Alexander Kugul. In blue judo gi representing Romania, Eduard Serban.
Well, the Sutemi was her attempt there, stumbling right down to the ground. Now, doesn't look to be wanting to battle away in the Niwaza with just over a minute remaining in this contest. Just 40 seconds remaining in the contest. This has been a very interesting, hard-fought battle here between both these young ladies. Oh, a lovely look there with the Ippon Sienagi upper body control, and came round the back with the Kosota. Makakomi attempt with the last 15 seconds scores the Wazari. Good control on that sleeve, and now it's going to be very difficult for Wright to come back. This young lady from the USA battled away, a great performance in this opening match against a Russian rival, but sadly it wasn't to be. Kariva goes through into the next round, and she'll be up against Barbara Macic of Croatia.
Right, who have we got coming up next? Well, on mat 1, it's Fanny Estelle Posvit of France. She's up against Tanaka Shiho of Japan. It'll be Posvit in the white judogi, Tanaka in blue. This is my first look at Tanaka. once in a while you'll get a new Japanese on the scene, you know, someone who they haven't sent out before. This is definitely the case with Tanaka Shio. I haven't seen her, well, not on the IJF Judo World Tour anyway. See what we've been able to unearth about Tanaka. Only 19.
Second round for men under 90 kilos.
She did fight at the Grand Slam in Tokyo a few months ago, and I regret that she didn't make, or I should say I'm embarrassed that she didn't make an impression on me, but she picked up a bronze medal. But it's perfectly possible that the reason that she didn't feature on our list is that there was more than 2 Japanese already on the list, and if that's the case, then the 3rd and 4th ones don't register, and that is the case, because at that Grand Slam in Tokyo, the medalists, the first 3 medalists, were all Japanese. So the 3rd one would have missed out. We count the first 2, but then the second one misses out. Ono Yoko took the gold medal. Arai Shizuru was in 2nd place. Maria Perez of Puerto Rico came up 3rd, and it was Tanaka Shio who also took the bronze medal. Fanny Estelle Posvik, by the way, was 5th in that competition, so it's possible that they may have gone head to head. Could have a look and check that as well. They did indeed face each other in Tokyo at the Grand Slam a couple of months ago, three or 4 months ago, and on that occasion it was Tanaka who came out on top.
Second round, men under 90 kilos, tatami 2.
Tanaka then went on to lose to her teammate in the semi-final, Yoko Ono, and then she defeated Marie-Yves Gahi of France for the bronze medal. Both the French fighters ending up in 5th place. Right, that's the background on Tanaka. Single Shido against Posvik. We've got half a minute left to go. Second penalty picked up by Posvik. Now she looks to go over on the right side with a big Ogoshi or maybe Koshiguruma. Posvik's just going to need a little bit of attention to an injury on her finger. May just need a bit of blood wiping up, or perhaps she's damaged a nail, or she already had some tape on something that needed tightening up. Anyway, it shouldn't be that long before we are back underway. think I'm going to take a quick look and see what the picks were. I had some predictions about who would win in various categories, and I shared those with the IHF media manager, Mark Pickering. Whilst we're waiting for the fighters to come back to the mat, it was in the under 60 kilo category. I picked out Yelda Smetov. 66 kilo category, Abe Hihumi of Japan. 73 kilos, Denis Yartsev of Russia. He didn't feature yesterday, and today it's Said Mollaei of Iran, Tot Christian of Hungary, Cyril Marais of France, and Guram Tusishvili of Georgia. Anyway, we've got Posvit back on the tatami now. We're into the golden score period. 2 penalties picked up by the French fighter. She can't afford another error. And that'll be it. And I think that may be it, I'm afraid. An annoying, irritating visit for Posvit to Ekaterinburg. Real disappointment there, going out fairly tamely. Right, let's have a look around and see where we're going to go. We'll stay with the under 70 kilo category, why not? Valentina Maltseva of Russia faces Dilba Umralieva of Kazakhstan. It's Maltseva in the white judogi, Umralieva in blue. You, of course, can choose which mat you want to go to. Mat 2 has Mihail Marchetan of the United Arab Emirates. He's up against Jamal Petgrave of Great Britain. Marchetan leads there with 1:20 odd left to go. And then down on mat number 2, it's Yahoo Varapeu of Belarus up against Rustam Amirmetov, Rustam Amirmetov of Russia. There's no score in that one.
Golden score of the 3. Second round, weighing under 90 kilos, tatami 2.
I've spoken about the picks for the men. Let's have a look and see who we had for the women yesterday. Endo Hiromi, Natalia Kuziutina, Dortsurin Sumia, she ended up with a bronze medal. Martina Traidos, she ended up in 5th place. And today it was Fanny Estel Posvit. Well, we've seen what happened there. That's what probably got me thinking that poor old Posvit went out first round. Myra Aguiar in the under 78 kilo category, and Maria Suellen Outherman in the plus 78 kilo category. So we'll see how we get on with those picks today. Tot Christian, I think, has gone out already. So maybe it's not such a good day. Right, we're going to go down to mat number 1, because coming on to mat number 1 now in the plus 100 kilo category, Guram Tusishvili of Georgia. He faces Tamerlan Bashayev of Russia. It'll be Tusishvili in the white judogi, Bashayev in blue. This is a good test for both fighters here. Tusishvili, because he is, a fancied fighter, and Bashayev from Russia, because he is likely to be a tough opponent. So let's see if we can get Ellie to take us down to mat number 3. Tusishvili leads by a single Wazari. We've got half a minute off the clock, and now we're underway. So an early score for the Georgian, and as I said this morning, I think it's going to be a tricky time for the Russians here. It's not their A team. And Bashaev needs to win this in order to stay in the competition. He can't afford to. It's not a repechage position that he can go into if he loses in round 2. He needs to get to the quarter-final. So reasonable little effort from a big fella, low on the right side, got himself into a reasonable position but couldn't finish off. Trying a little sit-down combination between Satemi Waza and Ashi Waza, but really it ended up looking rather unattractive in the end. Tusishvili will pick up a Shido for passivity here. Just took his foot off the pedal after that score. And he thought, well, let's have a look and see what Bashaev has got to offer up. Bashaev has put in a couple of attacks. He just gave him a little nudge there, didn't he? Bashaev. Oy. Well, Tusishvili ends up with the penalty against him. There's 2 penalties against Tusishvili now, and he can't lose it here. He's in a tricky position. Well, Tusishvili is allowing Bashaev to come back into this here. Having taken his foot off the pedal, it's just provided Bashaev with an opening. Just caught the end of Maltseva and Umralieva, just to let you know that Maltseva did win out there. Well, he doesn't look at his best, does he, Tusishvili here, and he's got over a minute left to go. Needs to finish the shot quickly here, almost the Uchimata Tsukeshi there. Yeah. Looking very tired, it's Tusishvili. Yeah, Bashaev just proving that bit too strong. He comes back with a score. So it's Wazari apiece. Makes it interesting. Gonna have to dig deep here, Tusishvili. 37 seconds left to go. Really needs to finish this off here. No, and they've decided to give Ippon. And instead of Bashaev being consigned to the warm-up area and the end of the day. It's Tushishvili who's going to take his place. That's the end of the Georgians' day. Good one. Right, let's have a look at Javad Majoub of Iran. He's up against Henk Grol of the Netherlands. It's Majoub in the white judogi, Grol in blue.
In blue for the Netherlands, Krol.
Well, a few big names falling by the wayside early on. Tot Christian, the number 2 seed, he's gone. He lost out to Beck.
Representing Brazil, the world silver medalist, Dominic Dura. And in blue, representing Georgia, Olise Bukhadze.
And then in the under 100 kilo category, Korol is through, the number 1 seed is through to the quarterfinal. Tomenaki Forov, he's through to the quarterfinal. Seryanix Miklos, the number 2 seed, he's through to the quarterfinal, as is Kazbek Zankishiev. He didn't make it actually, he lost out to Alexander Idir in round 2. And Cyril Mare lost out to Yevgenis Borodavko. What a day. Ooh. They're all falling.
Second round,
What a thing.
in white judogi representing Czech Republic, Jaromir Fusi. In blue judogi representing Italy, Antonio Esposito.
Right, there's an interesting contest taking place on mat number 2. I think we're going to go down there to take a look at David Moura of Brazil. He's the number 1 seed. He's up against Onisa Bukhadze of Georgia. It's Bukhadze who leads by Wazari with 2 minutes 40 odd left to go. The Georgian favourite, Guram Tushishvili, is already out. He lost his opening contest, so he's on his way out. Let's see if Bukhadze can come up and be the flag bearer for the Georgians in the plus 100 kilo category today. Oh, I think he's got him again. Yeah, I think it was Aria Wazetti Ipon. He brought him down a second time. He's got the Yosai Komi anyway. And they've called Wazari Awazetti Ipon. 2 scores from Onisa Bukhadze of Georgia. Puts him into the quarter-final. That's a terrific result, given that we've already seen Guram Tushishvili go out. So it's down to Bukhadze to do it for the Georgians. I think they should give this to Bukhadze. Caught him twice. He had the Osai Wazar on. After the Wazari Awazeti upon had been called, so yep, that's the way it's gone. Good result. He had the beating of David Mura today. So the number 1 seed out in the first fight. So where shall we go next then? Let's go down to mat number 3. Mat number 3 is Rafael Silva of Brazil. He's up against Harun Sadikovic of Bosnia-Herzegovina. There's no score in that contest as yet. It's Silva in the white judogi, Sadikovic in blue, and we've just had the first half a minute. So whilst you were away, Loretta, Tamerlan Bashaev overcame Guram Tusishvili.
Yes. That was a very interesting match indeed. And the number 1 seed in the plus 100s has just gone out as well. So
David Mura. So we lost two interesting ones right away.
Yes.
Mura and Tusishvili. They will not be taking any further part.
Well, that's a massive big. In fact, that's a big surprise, isn't it? Really, quite shocked with that result. So, but like we said right at the beginning, do you know, at these type of tournaments, you just never know what's going to happen, do you? Well, Rafael Silva, one of the seeded athletes, number 3 seed in this competition, double world medalist, and in the Masters, bronze medalist.
Took a medal at the Olympic Games as well, didn't he?
Well, he's a top favourite, a seeded athlete for a medal here today. But as we've already seen, the number 1 and 2 seed have already been beaten. So now it's all thrown into the mix of Big O Sota throwing for a palm bill. It's a great start there for Silva.
He may fancy his chances.
Especially after seeing the 2 top players going out.
Yeah.
It's obviously got to build his confidence up.
Is that 1 and 2? Seeds 1 and 2.
Yep.
Yeah, David Mura and Guram Tusishvili. So 4, he's the number 3. He takes over top spot now.
Yep.
He's the top man, and he has been Brazil's top man for quite some time. He took a bronze medal in the Olympic Games in London in 2012, and he followed that up with another bronze medal in Rio in front of his home crowd. So a double bronze medal winner, Rafael Silva, not to be confused with the gold medalist from Rio, Rafaela Silva.
It's very strange, isn't it?
A single letter makes all the difference in who you're looking at.
Yes.
Right, who have we got to look at now? Let's go to mat number 2.
Yes, with Roy Meyer.
Yeah, we'll take a look at Roy Meyer of the Netherlands. He's up against Ota Hyoga of Japan. It's Meyer in the white judogi, Ota in blue.
Second round, weight under 81 kilo, the number 1. In white judogi, representing Japan, Fujiwara Sotaro. In blue judogi, representing Kazakhstan, Bekshan Abdullah.
Well, Roy Meyer took a gold medal in The Hague. Again, a European bronze medalist. Dropsy and Aggie attempt there from Meyer. Ota looking for an opportunity in Niwaza. Doesn't seem to be knowing exactly what he was going down there for, but
Ota, given the Wazari there. So Maya's got some work on his hands.
He's really got his work cut out for him now. We've still got 2.5 minutes remaining in this contest.
That may spur him on a bit. That may spur Maya on to come out of his
Finds
shell.
himself there on the receiving end of the Uchimata. It's that sleeve grip that's causing him a few problems there.
That was harsh. Wasn't he the last one to attack there, Maya?
Yes, it was the...
Didn't trouble...
Well, no, it was Ota that
that
attacked
came up
with
with
the
Uchimata.
Uchimata,
Oh,
yes.
okay,
And he
yeah.
was having problems with that sleeve grip,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Ota is controlling his sleeve. And
So that'd be harsh, wouldn't it?
yes,
He'd
it
come
would
up
have
with
been
an
harsh,
attack
yes.
and then...
Yeah.
What? With me? Yes, you.
Well, Maya looking for the Iponsianagi. Ota trying to control his opponent's right sleeve. Dutchman attempts the drop Sianagi. Finds himself now on the receiving end of the Niwaza. But the referee obviously feels it was a very slow reaction down into the ground, and just looking at the referee's face, who were just pointing out that, it was a very familiar face. European champion, world medalist himself from France.
He just, was at the end of his career as Teddy Riner was
That's correct.
coming
yes.
in. So in that World Championships in Rio, where Teddy made his appearance, Matthew Bataille picked up a bronze medal in the open weight, whereas Teddy took his first world title there.
He was a great athlete, and it's nice to
absolutely.
actually see him here as one of the top IGF
He's a good
referees.
one.
And he's very knowledgeable, isn't he? And a true understanding, a true judo man in his own right. And he'll have a little bit of sympathy here as a
For the
plus
big fellas.
heavyweight himself.
None.
None whatsoever. He's throwing out those penalties like as if they're going out as sweeties. There's 3 already on the board there, 2 to Roy Meyer now. Well, Ota of Japan goes through to the next round in the plus 100 kilos.
Another one bites the dust then.
Another one,
because
definitely, yes.
We'll take a look at the top 4 seeds. David Mura went out in round 2. Roy Meyer has gone out in round 2. Goran Tusishvili has gone out in round 2. The only one left in is Rafael Silva.
Who just did well in his first round.
He must be saying, this is mine then,
He'll be
today.
But most probably he'll be that sense of doubt, knowing that those top seeds have all gone out. He's maybe thinking, when is it my next time to fall?
Now, Stefan Hedgie showed some promise, was what I think
Well,
it
for
was
me,
referred to as.
yes,
Let's see.
I noted he was there in was it Dusseldorf that he competed in, and he gave a great performance there in Dusseldorf. This young, what was it? Yeah, it was Dusseldorf. I'm quite sure it was. Great performance for this young man. Junior world and cadet medalist.
Yeah, still only 19.
Still a junior in his own right, but gave a great performance in the last competition that we had the pleasure to work at. Yes, in Düsseldorf.
Single Judo against Shakbazov at the moment. This isn't really lighting up the venue today, and there's not as many people as in today, but there's a good reason for that. It's the general election today, or the election anyway for the president. So,
oh, is it?
Yeah, Mr. Putin is up for re-election, so there are a few people out there voting. That's why we haven't got that many in. Maybe after they've all cast their ballots.
Yes, I'm sure this afternoon they'll be flooding the gates.
He beat Shakbazov in the repechage at the Grand Slam in Tokyo before losing to Kageura Kokoro in the bronze medal contest.
Lovely Makakomi there. Very close to scoring.
Yeah, it was in Tokyo that he was managed to give a reasonable look at him, and then before that it was at the World Championships in Zagreb. That's where he really came up with.
Well, he's great potential, hasn't he? 19 years of age. He's got such maturity in his judo, hasn't he? He's putting on a good performance here. Even a couple of Makakomi attacks there. He's down a Shido, but he's starting now to take a little bit more control.
He lost in the final at the Zagreb Grand Prix to Teddy Riner. Oh, it's going to go now. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, well, that was stumbling down to the ground, but what had happened, the shoulder was there, and he landed very awkwardly indeed.
Ouch.
Hopefully it's not too serious, but wasn't going to cause any more aggravation. I think that hold down was looking to be very secured. Well, Shakbazov there for Russia goes through to the next round.
He's in the quarterfinal, the second of the quarterfinals. He'll face Ota Hyoga of Japan. Bashayev will face Henk Kroll, who overcame Javad Majoub, and Rafael Silva will face Anton Brashev of Russia. So Brashev, Bashayev and Shakbazov have made it through to the quarterfinals. Coming on to mat number 2 now. Mayra Aguiar of Brazil faces Takayama Rika of Japan. It's Aguiar in the white judogi, Takayama in blue. That's the current world champion with the red back patch, Mayra Aguiar.
Well, definitely one of the top favourites in the under 78 kilo category. Number 1 seed. Takayama, medal in the Düsseldorf last year. As well as a gold medal in Tumen. Very strong contender from Japan. She battles away against the number 1 seed, the world champion. Nice controlling cross grip around the arm, as you can see there, the left hand on the back, controlling her opponent's right side. With the option of the Uchimata. Trying to get the right reaction from the Japanese opponent. Just comes around the back, not the wisest reactions to make against somebody that's got a very good uchimata.
In blue judogi representing France, Stacy Pasteur.
Looking very strong out there. Once more gets the left hand, this time on the lapel. Previously had it round the back. But she's got that lapel, she's now got control of her opponent's left sleeve. Sutemi Waza from Takayama, really a ploy to get out of trouble. As you can see, those grips were being set up quite nicely and they were very controlling indeed. Takayama took the easier option, an attempt to Sutemi Waza to bring it back into a mate situation. Aguirre, as you can see once more, with the left hand over the top of her opponent's right. Comes round the back, trying to control the hip movement of the Japanese, but this time didn't react quick enough, and a Wazari called there. Takayama now securing the hold. And Ippon, and Takayama goes through, beating the #1 seed into the next round, into the semi-final. Well, that's a great win for Takayama. And Aguirre goes into the repechage. So she has still an opportunity of a medal, but possibly not the one she came over for.
Women under 78 kilo. Next quarterfinal for women under 78 kilo, the Dami-2. In white, representing Kazakhstan.
So now we have the second quarterfinal.
Representing Poland, Ekaterinburg.
Well, now we have representing Kazakhstan, Aman Glendieva and Pakut of representing Poland. Now, a bit of a difference in size with these athletes. Very strong, taller, upright athletes from Poland, but the Kazakhstan is drawing her head down to her level. As you can see, quite a bit difference. She's controlling quite nicely, the Kazakhstan. Feisty little character out there. Very powerful looking. Has quite an aggressive approach to this contest. Baku defending quite nicely with the Sienagi attempt from the Kazakhstan.
Representing France, Stacy Pasteur. She will be in the semi-final for women under 78 kilo. Next contest on mat 3, repechage, women over 78 kilo.
Весовая категория 70+, 78
Aman Glendieva coming there with the drop Sienagi.
России Мария Шикерова. В синем кимоно Анжела Вазбалян, Россия.
Well, 2.5 minutes remaining in this contest. Kazakhstan really piling on the pressure, comes in again with the drop Sienagi. Vita Pakut finding it very difficult to secure her grips. No sooner that she gets those long arms over the top, the Kazakhstan really starts piling the pressure on. A lot of movement and threatening the Sianagi attacks. Uchimata attempt there, nicely executed, just didn't really have that finishing touch to the Uchimata, but nevertheless a very strong attack from Vita Paku. Patkud there with the drop. Nicely executed, scoring a Wazari in the last minute of this quarter-final match. Secures the Osakomi. Now the Kazakhstan really working hard there, but it looks like it's all over and done with. A Wazari Ossetia upon Vita Pakud goes through for Poland to the semi-finals of the under 78 kilo category.
The number 3 semi-final women for 78 kilo. In white, representing Brazil, bronze medalist at St. Petersburg Masters 2017, Maria Altman. In blue, also from Brazil.
So we'll go across to mat number 3. Where will be the semi-final of the women's plus 78s. Athema representing Brazil. Souza also representing Brazil. And all, well, we know that a Brazilian will get into the final, but which one will it be? The second seed in the plus 78s. Athema, 29 years of age, bronze medal in the Masters. Tokyo Grand Slam bronze medalist and 5th place here last year. Now she'll definitely be wanting to set her sights on a medal in this tournament. So as only 19 years of age, 10 years junior to her teammate. But this young lady, world ranked number 9, so not many steps below her teammate in Tunis at the beginning of the year. Started off very well with picking up a silver medal in Tunis, and last year was also a world, well, not last year, but a few years back, with a world cadet bronze medalist as well, along with a junior world medal as well. So this is a young lady that's hit some very strong targets, great potential for the Brazilian team, following the footsteps of some outstanding performers that the Brazilian team have produced in the plus 78s for women. Athema coming round the back as her teammate hooks in for the Ochigari. She gets the lift, she gets the finish, she plants with her opponent into the ground, and Athema, with that maturity, the experience, goes through to the final of the plus 78s.
Winner on mat 3 in white for Brazil, Maria Altman. She will be in the final for women under 78 kilo. Beatriz Souza will fight for bronze medal. Next contest on mat 3.
And Souza will go into the bronze,
Under 100 kilo.
into the bronze medal match. So now we have the under 100s. It's the quarter-final match. A good start, positive start for the Hungarian Sojenics, who's in the white. Ilyasov of Russia in the blue.
Second round, weight under 81 kilos, tatami 1. In white judogi representing Georgia, Zebina Reshmiashvili. In blue judogi representing
Ilyasov, as you can see there, with that right high collar grip, steps across, switches it to uplook the harai, but turned it into the makakomi. And Ilyasov scores a wazari. Well, that's a great start for the Russian. That starts to put the pressure on the Hungarian. Well, Sojenics now really has to start coming back fighting here. He's got plenty of time to get that back in line. And he's doing a great job at it as well, as he ruffles up his opponent, piling a little bit of extra pressure on now.
semi-final, women over 78 kilos.
Ilyasov really cannot hold on to this wazari, has to engage in the contest.
In white judogi for Bosnia and Herzegovina, 2017.
Sojenics, the
Silver medalist, Alisa
number 2 seed, going into, oh, and a lovely counter attack there from the Ouchigari. Ilyasov goes into the semi-final. And there you have the highlights. The Ouchigari put the foot down, the big mistake, went for the Kouchi and left himself very vulnerable indeed to the rear with the counter. And I think he was quite happy with that. Beautifully executed. And there was the mistake, going for the Kouchigari.
Quarterfinal, men under 100 kilos, tatami 3. In white, representing France, Alexander Idir. In blue, representing Belarus, Daniel Ukete.
So now we have the next quarterfinal. Idri of France in the white. Muket, Belarusia in the blue. It's the under 100s. It's the place in the semi-final. Well, it's a little bit of a battle of grips here, really, who's both trying to take that controlling position. Ponsianagi from the Frenchman. Nice attack, just lost a little bit of balance as he was taking his opponent over the top. Bit of a stumbling motion halfway through that entry. But Muket takes a Judo for the lack of engagement in this contest so far. Well, the Belarusian, as you can see, the right hand on that lapel, trying to trap the left side of the Frenchman. Not doing a very good job as he steps across through for the drop. The coach, Igari, was also there. He still has that flowing movement on the left side. And Muket picks up the second Shido now. In far too long a waiting game. Steps across for the Siotoshi.
Will be in the final for women over 78 kilo. Caroline Weiss from Germany will fight for bronze medal. Next contest on mat 2, quarterfinal, men under 100 kilo. In white judo from the Netherlands, gold medalist at Paris Grand Slam this year, Michael Doral. In blue for Austria, bronze medalist at Ekaterinburg Grand Slam last year.
Well, that spin under. Got himself all knotted up there as he rotated through. Lydia anticipated that very well. With just half a minute remaining in this quarterfinal, it looks like this could go to the golden score. But the Oso Tagari there! Oh, fantastic finish. Really pile drived his opponent into the mat. And with 22 seconds remaining, takes himself into the semi-final of the under 100 kilograms. Osodagari driving through, wonderful control on that sleeve, drawn across the chest, head in a perfect position. Planted his opponent flat on his back. Well, that was a lovely finish there.
Quarterfinal, weight under 90 kilo, tatami 3. In white judo representing Uzbekistan, Yusuf Choriev. In blue judo representing Italy, Nicolas Mugai.
And he'll be up against Ilyasov of Russia a little bit later on. Now we have the quarterfinals here of the under 90 kilos. It's against the Uzbek in the white, Choriev, and Mongai of Italy in the blue. Well, Mongai and Choriev both pick up a Shido apiece in the opening minutes of this contest. Choriev beating the number 2 seed, Christian Tooth. And Mongai of Italy defeated in the second round Zambekov of Russia. Both having very strong performances here today. The Italian looking for the Sangaku. Jimmy there, as you can see, they're trying to get desperate around the back of the knee, placing. Well, it was very close indeed. Mongai with the Wazari lead and halfway through this contest. Sutemi Waza nicely controlled, scoring that Wazari. Tomonagi got the foot in place, but really needed a little bit more twist on the upper body control. Those hands needed to work a little bit better. Once more, he attempts the Tomonagi. Still breaking the balance of his opponent, who still trails. 1 minute and 32 remaining. Ushigari follows through into the Niwaza once more. The time will tick away. Tactically, this is the best place for him to be in. He works well in the ground, very confident in the Niwaza, putting that extra little bit of pressure on Choriev of Uzbek. Uzbekistan desperately trying to get back up onto his feet. The last thing he wants is to waste any more valuable time in this quarterfinal. Picks up his second Shido though.
Winner on mat 1. Next contest on mat 1, quarterfinal, women under 70 kg. In white judo representing Brazil, Maria
Uchimata attempt there.
representing Great Britain, Katie Jemima Itzbra.
Tomonagi once more. Over-rotated him on the end of the attack, but then follows through into the Niwaza with 14 seconds remaining and looking very busy there and positive. Has a sneaky look up at the scoreboard. Be quite happy with that, with 6 seconds remaining and a Wazari on the board for the Italian. Nothing now can stop him from going through into that semi-final. Well, we're going to go across to mat number 1, where we'll watch the quarter-final for the under 70 kilos against Portela of Brazil, the number 1 seed, against Yates Brown of Great Britain in the blue.
Winner on mat 3, in blue, representing Italy, Nicolas Utai. You will be in the semi-final for men under 90 kg.
Well, Yates Brown defeated Bektaski of Kazakhstan in the opening first round match. Portela had a bye in the first round, so this is her opening contest of the tournament. Portela picking up a Shido along with Yates Brown, so a Shido apiece with 2.5 minutes remaining. Well, an overstretched attack there from Yates Brown left herself very vulnerable indeed. Very flexible, this young lady from Great Britain. And Portela struggling to secure the Osakomi.
In white for Serbia, Alexander Bugel. In blue for United Arab Emirates, Mihail Archman.
Kochigari there from Yates Brown. Hizagruma. Portela looking to try and settle herself in this contest. Oh, and a lovely counter-attack there. Yates Brown left herself a little bit too high as she entered into the attack, and Portela just capitalised on it.
The W1 winner in white, representing Brazil, Maria Portela.
Well, nicely controlled there.
In the semi-final for women
Scoring the
under
upon.
70 kilo. The next quarter-final, women under 70 kilo, the W1. In white Judo, representing Hungary, Mircea Samina. In blue, representing Brazil, Barbara Timo.
Well, now we have the second quarter-final. Gershek. Gershek of Hungary in the white. Timo of Brazil in the blue.
Winner on mat 3 in blue, representing Belarus, Yavor Varpayev.
Timo with the drop Sianagi there.
Winner on mat 2 in white, representing Serbia, Alexander Kubel. World number 1, Alexander Kubel, will be in the semi-final for men under 90 kilo. Quarter-final, men over 100 kilo, the time in Sweden.
Задание 3. Свою весу 6 килограммов, четвертьфинал. В белом кимоно представитель России Тамерлан Башаев. В синем кимоно представитель Голландии Judo.
Quarter-final, men under 90 kilo, the time in 2.
Задание 2. Свою категорию 90 килограммов, четвертьфинал. В белом кимоно представитель Чехии Давид Фабер. В синем кимоно представитель России Измаил Хампоев.
Well, the battle goes on with these two. Wasn't going to be one of the easiest matches. Gershek with a Judo now, 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining.
Winner on mat 3 in blue for the Netherlands, Henk Krol. Henk Krol will be
Well, 1 minute 45 seconds.
100 kilo.
Sure what the referees obviously noticed something there.
Задание 3. Представитель весу 6 килограммов, четвертьфинал. В белом кимоно представитель Бразилии, двукратный бронзовый призер Олимпийских игр Рафаэл Силва. В синем кимоно представитель России Антон Брачев.
Let's have a look at that. Sodi. Well. Well, there was a lot of control there throughout that attack from the Saudi. But no score given. And a minute and a half remaining in this contest. The drop Sienagi from Timo. Well, Gershek now with the two Shidos and just under a minute remaining. Timo dropping in with it. Oh, and a poor mistake there with the Sienagi. Gershek capitalised on it with the counter. Scoring a Wazari and just half a minute remaining. There you have it. She attempted the Sienagi, got the hand in the position, didn't leave herself any space to rotate through with the hips. And Gershek, with just seconds to go, will go into the semi-final of the under 70 kilos.
The number one winner in white, representing Hungary, Sabina. She will be in the semi-final for the women under 70 kilo. The number three winner in white for Brazil, Rafael Silva.
And Gershek will be up against Portela of Brazil for a place in the final of the under 70s. Barbara Macic here now representing Croatia in the white, Kariva of Russia in the blue. Kariva, great start, scoring a Wazari in the opening seconds of this contest. Piling a lot of pressure now on the Croatian. Drop Sienagi from Macic in a counter-attack. Scoring a Wazari, a seti upon. Well, that was an elimination. And the number 2 seed goes out within 25 seconds of this quarterfinal starting. Well, that's a big disappointment there for Barbara Macic, who had a bye in the first round, so this was her opening match of the day, and finds herself out in 25 seconds of work in the whole tournament. Well, Tanaki here representing Japan in the white. Maltsev representing Russia in blue. Takanaki, high collar grip there. The left hand controlling her opponent's right side quite nicely. Maltsev under a little bit of pressure, drops to the ground, picking up the first Judo for that reaction. Maltsev throws that left hand over the top. But as you can see, the Ouchigari there is lingering around there from the Japanese. She draws her opponent's head down. Once again, the left hand over the top. Trying to break down the positioning of Takanaki. Osotogari following it through now, looking for an opportunity in the Niwaza. A little bit of a slow start for Takanaki here. Maltsev trying to get off that Ouchigari. So 2.5 minutes remaining in this quarter-final match. Maltsev really putting on a battle here. That left hand that comes over quite high, she controls quite nicely there. The extreme gripping from the Russian is causing a few problems for the Japanese. Maltsev throws that left hand over the top, catches the belt, but the Osotogari's there for Takanaki. Well, Takanaka really is playing a bit of a waiting game here and trying to pick off her opponent as that left hand comes over the top. Hasn't got any Judos against her at this moment. Danger of that Ouchigari Uchimata combination there for the Russian.
The number 3 semi-final, women under 78 kilo. In white, representing Germany, Louise Matza. In blue, representing France, Stacy Bastavo.
Well, Tanaka trying to get past the strong defences of the Russian, who's that left arm that comes over the top, trapping her opponent's left sleeve.
The number 2 winner in white for Czech Republic, will win in the semi-final for men under 90 kilo. The number 2 quarter-final men over 100 kilo.
Maltsev doing a lot of work out there, has really dominated with the grips in this contest. Oh, but leaves herself wide open for the Osotogari. The elbow went down to try and brace herself from the score. Well, Tanaka followed it through with the Osokome, and a submission there from the Russian gives her the ippon and a place in the semi-final. That was quite interesting with that Osotogari on the landing. Maltseva used her elbow to brace herself, and you could actually see the real bracing to avoid the score.
The semi-final for women under 70 kilos.
A score that wasn't given, which was a real surprise for me.
In white for the Netherlands, number 1 in the world judo ranking, from the lead. In blue, representing Italy, Antonio Esposito.
Now Tanaka will be up against Kariva of Russia in that semi-final a little bit later on, but now we come to the quarterfinals, the under 81 kilo division, against the number 1 seed, Frank de Witt. And he's up against Antonio Esposito of Italy.
I just had a look from Ellie there, so I'll jump in and let you know it's a Esposito.
Esposito.
I've had a few taps along the years from Ellie when it comes to the pronunciation of Italian names, so I tread gingerly in that area. But I suppose, Ellie, when it comes to Italians and, you know, the different members of our team can always come up and say, it's this, that, or the other. When are we going to get a Chinese member of our team to help us out with the Chinese names?
I know, it would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. In any case,
Esposito.
Esposito, yeah. It's in the United States of America, they pronounce that name differently, even though it's an Italian name. They say Esposito.
Esposito, yeah, that's...
Yeah. But it is, you know, the Italians like to go with Esposito. Well, I don't know. It's an odd one because he's falling backwards there. He's falling onto his back and pushing Frank de Witt down and looking for a score, but he's falling backwards. It's an odd one. He ends up putting de Witt on his back, but, you know, I'd like to... The Japanese have got this thing, and the translation into English is classification of waza.
Yes.
And that's what you give a score on. You're able to identify what the waza is and say it's a score. If you can't say what it is from the Gokyo, for me, it's not a score. 'Cause they know what they're talking about, the Japanese. So.
Well, Frank de Witt, they're battling away against the Italian, who's quite feisty out there indeed, always hitting first with the attacks. De Witt really just playing a bit of a chasing game here in this quarterfinal. Throws the right hand over the top of the Italian, steps across for the Osotogari. Esposito there coming through, looking for the Sodi. Stepping across, gets the score. Well, it looked like a score from me. A continuous movement there. Nevertheless, a very strong attack from the Italian. A minute and a half remaining in this contest. Only one Shido divides them. A Sodi attempt there. Hips come through, not as deep this time. De Witt blocks quite nicely, but still on the receiving end of an attack. Another strong attack from the Italian. Now there's the Shido for De Witt. He's been playing a bit of a waiting game out there and has just reacted off the actions of the Italian.
He's missed with that foot.
Yeah.
Caught him in a slightly lower area than he'd originally envisaged. Maybe looking for the stomach area and ending up in the lower regions of the abdomen, if you want to put it that way.
The number 2 winner in white, representing Georgia, Georgian judoka will be in the...
Well, Dewitt looked a little bit frustrated, being told to go for medical. There was obviously a slight cut or something on the head, but really was wanting to get on with this match. He's got 1 minute and 11 seconds to go while he gets patched up. Esposito there has got his thoughts to himself in the centre of the mat. Not always the easiest place to compose yourself in the sights of everybody. Trying to stay focused. Has been in control of this contest throughout, and we're coming into the last final minute of the contest. And DeWitt now changing the attitude out there as he comes in, strapping and all around the head. A bit more of an aggressive approach, but still on the receiving end of an attack from the Italian. It just seems to be that one step in front of his opponent every time. Great work rate from the Italian. Good condition. Bit of a drop there. He was under a bit of pressure. Pays the penalty with picking up the second Shido. Well, the coach Higari is there, and Esposito there looking for that acknowledgement as he dances around the contest area. And he looks very happy with himself indeed. And here you have the winning, the coach Higari driving, DeWitt desperately trying to defend that. Wonderful finish, and the timing couldn't have been more perfect for the Italian. So Esposito goes into the semi-final of the under 81 kilos, and he'll be up against the winner of the next match coming up very shortly.
Final in under 81 kilos, the number 1. In white judogi representing Japan, Fujiwara Sotaro. In blue judogi representing Hungary, Jokiei Laszlo.
Fujiwara of Japan now in the whites, approaching the contest area.
The number 3 winner in white for Germany, Luis Matza.
Suknai of Hungary in the blue.
Under 78 kilo. Stacy Vastavok from France will fight for bronze medal. The repechage contest for men under 100 kilo, the number 3 in white representing Hungary.
Fujiwara there right on the attack in the Niwaza, trying to get that turnover. Again, following down into the ground, trying desperately to use those legs to overpower the Hungarian opponent. Japanese with the left hand on the lapel there, trying to create an opening for the Ashiwaza. Levering on his opponent's right side, hooks in with the Ouchigari. Temiwaza there from the Hungarian, nice reaction. Especially under a little bit of pressure on the edge of the contest area.
Winner on Tatami 2. In white, representing Japan, Ota Hyoga. Ota Hyoga will be in the semi-final for over 100 kg. The next contest on Tatami 2 is...
Well, the battle continues on this match with 1 minute and 55 seconds remaining in the contest.
Representing Brazil, the current world champion, in blue, representing Kazakhstan, Agriman.
There's a real battle between both these athletes. There's the Shido going to the Hungarian for that drop. Oh yes, and what a beautiful finish there. Fujiwara, the Sianagi move, scores the ippon in the last minute of the contest. Well, it was the Tayatoshi that was stepping it right across there, overreached, very nicely executed. Beautiful Tayatoshi on the one knee as well, both overstretched there, knee went down, but still clipped the feet of the Hungarian.
Next contest on Tatami 1, quarterfinal, weight under 81 kilos.
Татами 1 весовая категория до 81 килограмма, четвертьфинал белого кимоно, представитель Ирана, среднего лая. Синим кимоно, представитель России, Мурат Хачимов.
Well, Malay here representing Iran in the white, a quarter-final. Kabachirov of Russia in the blue. Iranian, the number 2 seed, coming into this competition. Gold medal in Düsseldorf, world bronze medalist.
Frank de Witt having lost out to Antonio Esposito. The number 2 seed all of a sudden becomes the number 1.
In white, representing Japan, Takayama Rika. In blue, representing Poland, Ryata Padut.
He's been tumbling today.
Well, there's been a few upsets throughout the day in these weight categories. Heavyweights especially. The Russian looking to get the hips through for that Uchimata. Bit of a head-to-head clash here between both athletes. Sutemi was a Tomanagi there from the Iranian.
Semi-final, weight under 100 kilo.
Полуфинал своего категории до 100 килограммов. В белом кимоно представитель России Яс Ильясов. В синем кимоно представитель Франции Александр Кирилл.
The Russian trying to throw that right hand deep over the back. Oh, beautifully done. Steps
class.
right under, uses the head and flips his opponent.
The 2022 winner in white, representing Japan.
I remember when we changed the rule for the hand to leg, and people said, well, that's the Ekaterinburg then, you'll never see that again.
Well, what a change of Ekaterinburg. Use it the head this time. He had both hands, I believe, on the sleeves, braced the head through under the arm and used the core strength and arm rotation to get that lift.
To wheel him over his shoulder. Which
where
is,
we would always think that the
But you need the hand,
Ekaterinburg
yeah.
would really need that hand to connect with the leg to get that finish of the lower part of the body. But shows how powerful that man was.
coming on to map number 1 now. The next quarter-final in the under 81 kilo category, Zabeda Rekviashvili of Georgia faces Sasaki Takeshi of Japan. It's Rekviashvili in the white judogi, Sasaki in blue. There's I was going to say a slightly forlorn figure, but you can't really call David Mura a slightly forlorn figure. He's sitting just a bit further on our left because he's such a huge man anyway. So,
gosh, yes.
you know, but he is just there, you know, hand, you know, head in hand, arm on knee, just leaning forward, and he doesn't look that big, to be honest, sitting there. I suppose when you're that far away and Shall I get him to stand up?
If he stands up, I think he'll just grow out of proportion.
He is the proverbial gentle giant. He really is. He's such a nice guy, and he just devastated. But he's definitely put out at the fact that he has been put out, and he's sitting up in the stands when he'd be rather, you know, getting prepared for his next contest. Just didn't work out for him today, unfortunately.
Rekviashvili there stepped across for Ataya Toshi, stumbled, the balance was broken. Sasaki there was just waiting. I think they're gonna, there they have it.
Yeah.
Sasaki goes through to the semi-finals of the 81s.
Sasaki Takeshi. He will be in the semi-final.
Just more disappointed with himself that happened, Rekviashvili. He's not questioning the referee's decision at all.
He
He's
made
just,
an error
you know,
there.
yeah.
He stepped across. It was his initiation of the first attack that he'd lost his balance, and you can see him just walking off there and a little bit bewildered and frustrated with himself there. And now we come to, should be the semi-final.
It's a repechage contest, actually.
Oh, it's the repechage, is it?
In the
Oh, so that is right, because she lost
Under
to
70 kilo
Portela
category, yeah.
in the quarter-finals. So
Яс Ильясов России взял победу в татами и вышел в финал до своего категории до 100 килограммов. Александр Кирилл, Франция, продолжит борьбу за бронзовую медаль.
oh, a lovely Marotti Sinagi drop.
Repechage contest, weight under 90 kilo, the now in 3.
На татами 3 утешительные встречи весовой категории до 90 килограммов.
In white, representing Uzbekistan, Yusho Joliev. In blue, representing Mongolia, Nantuga Altanbagana.
Timo again with the drop Cianagi. Yates Brown trying desperately to block the attack, comes across in the Niwaza. Sodi comes round the back, continues with the rotation. A good attack there from Yates Brown, but not strong enough for a score, as she trails with the Wazari from Timo. Oh, again, that drop Cianagi. Yates Brown seems to just fall over the top of that. Attempt of a drop Cianagi there for Yates Brown. Didn't get in deep enough. She tries desperately to control her opponent's right sleeve. Stumbling back, finds herself now in the receiving end of the Niwaza. Well, Timo still leads with the Wazari, and we're just coming up to the last minute. A nice attack there once more using the Ashiwaza. Stumbling Yates Brown. Looks like the Brazilian is out fighting Yates Brown quite considerably. Looks for that arm lock, but never actually seen Yates Brown been arm locked at all in her whole career.
Same here.
A desperate attack to come engage with the hips come through. The arm's just looking a little bit untidy as she engaged with the hip throw. But the battle continues. Yates Brown piling the pressure on. Those poor, strong, desperate attacks there has picked up a Shido. Well, Timo now trying to just settle down in the final stages of this contest, controlling.
I think the clock on our part has stopped, but the scoreboard clock on the tatami will have continued, so don't worry about that. That won't have stopped. They would have seen that. So,
well, there's two Shidos as well to Yates Brown, as we know, and that didn't come up. It was at that time the clock seemed to stop on our screen,
and you can see from Barbara's movement that she knows this all over.
So Timo goes through to the bronze medal match.
The only thing
later on.
The only thing I'd add to what Loretta was saying was about Katie Jemima Yates-Brown is that she is coming back from a serious injury and a potentially career-ending
definitely.
injury.
Yes,
So she's had an incredible amount of work to do to get back to this point, and there's still a lot that she can offer. But it's early in the recovery cycle, and we're going to see her
athlete
again.
That's coming through, and like you say, she has been plagued with quite a few injuries, in fact, and some serious ones, operations to the point that, like you say, could have finished her career, and has come back very, very strong.
On the mat now, Barbara Matic of Croatia. She's up against Valentina Maltseva of Russia. It's a repechage contest in the under 70 kilo category. We'll have the semi-finals on mat 1 to follow immediately after this. It's Matic in the white judogi, Maltseva in blue. And don't worry about the little caption in the top left-hand corner of your screen. That Yates-Brown Timo Barbara contest has finished. This is actually Barbara Matic and Valentina Maltseva. We'll tidy that up as soon as we can. I'm sure someone will notice that. I think they just have. There you go. Look at that. As if by magic.
Those magical words, and it appears. Well, as we saw with the first match of the day for Macic, she lost against Riva of Russia.
What a smacking that was.
That
Sorry to put it in those terms.
It was a bit of a judo lesson, wasn't it? Definitely, and she'll have been very disappointed with that. She had a bye in the first round and lasted 25 seconds in the second round, which was obviously the quarter-final stage. 14 athletes participate. Well, it is a massive surprise for us all.
Lyubov Brutelova in the chair for the Russian, Valentina Maltseva, herself an Olympic silver medalist at 48, under 48 kilos. She won't mind me saying that she's not 48 kilos any longer. We have a little laugh and a joke about it. So you didn't get any taller, I said to her.
Oh, goodness me. Well, Macic goes over again.
Again, like you say, they're just overreaching themselves, a few of these fighters.
It looked a bit more of a desperate attack to try and stay in control of this contest or get back some control, as Maltseva seems to have taken a little bit more command here in this contest. A bit of an exchange there, but obviously you expect accidents like this to happen. Referee giving her plenty of time to just wipe the watery eyes. Macic looking to try the Sangaku turnover. Didn't have much opportunity down there.
Got a good women's programme, Croatia.
A very strong programme, yeah.
Good few fighters from them showing some promise.
Macic. Koshigaruma would have benefited with that leg coming across. For possibly the Oguruma would have been a better option. On a normal day, Macic is very powerful in the legs. Seems to have been having a bad day at the office here in this tournament. And once more stumbles to the ground as Maltseva just works the feet there, and again Macic drops underneath, nearly found herself in the Osakomi. Maltseva slow to react there, could have capitalized in the ground. Failed to see the A little gift that was on offer there. Picks up her second Judo though. Barbara Mecic stepping across that leg, but tries to overpower it with the Makakomi. And with 38 seconds remaining in this contest.
The number 2 winner in blue, representing Belgium, Toma Nikiforov. Toma Nikiforov will be in the final for men under 100 kilo. Michael Corral from the Netherlands will fight for bronze medal.
Maltsever's likely to pick up a third penalty here, I'm afraid.
Well, although she seemed to dominate with the exchanges in this contest, Mecic just did enough to worm her way through into that bronze medal match.
Well, there's a contest due up in a couple of fights' time down on mat number 3 between Henk Grol of the Netherlands and Rafael Silva of Brazil. That should make for interesting viewing, shouldn't it? We'll go down there at some stage, but before that we've got a semi-final in the under 70 kilo category. Maria Portela of Brazil faces Gershak Sabina of Hungary. It's Portela in the white judogi, Gershak in blue.
We have semi-final of the WA1, women under 70 kilo. In white for Brazil, Maria Portela. In blue for Hungary, Gershak Sabina.
There was a buzz from the audience, and that made me look across to mat number 2, where Mihail Martitan of United Arab Emirates has thrown Ismail Kamkoev.
What a lovely drop
Oh,
scene
Russia.
here on this mat from Portela, scoring a Wazari with 2 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in the contest.
He qualifies for the bronze medal contest for men under 90 kilo.
Time is it? 2:15 here. So with semi-finals and repechage contests going on now, I'd imagine that by 2:45 we'll have wrapped things up. So it'll be about 2 hours and 15 minutes. It'll be a good little break.
Alexander Hugon, in blue, representing Czech Republic, David Klamert.
Well, Gerchek, as you can see here, trying to get those long legs stretched across. Portela trying to swing in there with the Ochigari. Drops the Anagi. Oh, very close. Oh, yes! The Ashiwaza was there. Swept the feet from under her. The Ashibare, beautifully executed there. Score Nippon. And a place in the final of the under 70 kilos.
I wonder if we can go down to mat number 3 quickly. We've seen one semi-final in the under 70 kilo category. If we go down to mat number 3, we can see the number 3 seed, wasn't he? Number 3 seed.
Yes.
Rafael Silva of Brazil. He's up against Henk Grol of the Netherlands. It's Grol in the white judogi, Silva in blue. One of the biggest tests that Grol could face is against a genuine super heavyweight. These are super heavyweights. The under 100 kilo category fighters are actually heavyweights, but these are the super heavyweights. And Silva is one of the biggest. Look at the difference between these two and Hyun Suk Hee, the referee in the middle. He's dwarfed by this pair, and Silva is even bigger than Henk Grol.
Well, when you look at the weigh-ins for the plus 100 kilos, Henk Grol weighed in at 112.8 kilos.
Tidy.
That's and Silva 167.4. So
doesn't bear thinking about, does it?
it's quite a bit of a
Huge
difference of weight,
yeah.
isn't there? But Grol's doing well here. He's bringing the fight to Silva. He's already picked up 2 Shidos and he's got halfway to go in this contest. You always get a little bit nervous when they're asking him to tidy up.
Well, I didn't see any attack there from... No, she wants them to change. It's blue and white. She's laughing at them, you know. Yeah.
Trying to control these big men.
Shido and Sakamake done.
Well, that was a real disappointment there for Silva.
He knows how big that is.
And Grol takes a place in the final of the plus 100s.
That's bad news for someone. Can you think who that may be bad news for?
In under 100 kilo, and Grol will be in the final for men over 100 kilo.
Roy Meyer.
Oh, yes.
Olympic and world bronze medalist Rafael
You've got Henk Grol beating
Yes.
Rafael Silva to take a place in the final, and Roy Meyer's out.
I know, I forgot about it because he went out so early.
So early.
I forgot that he was actually even participating.
So what becomes
'Cause
really
he lost
important...
to Otta, didn't he?
Right.
in
So
Japan?
what becomes really important is the Onisa Bukhadze Ota Hyoga contest, the second semi-final. Because should Ota win that and Grol go on to beat Ota, all bets are off with regard to who's the number one in the Netherlands as far as the plus 100 kilo category is concerned. There's a new man on the block.
But when you actually look at the weight category itself, he weighed in at 112 kilos. That's very light, isn't it?
It is indeed.
For a big man, 12 kilos is not a lot of weight.
Which was exactly the same weight that Or Sasson weighed in at when he first stepped up to the plus 100 kilo category. The next step for him was a bronze medal at the Olympic Games.
Just shows you, huh? There's a possibility there, isn't it? But the one thing I do like about him is that Grol is a big athlete. He's a big, strong athlete.
Let's go down to mat number 1, because there's judo taking place on mat number 1. It's Frank de Wit of the Netherlands. He was the number 1 seed this morning. He's up against Choknai Laszlo of Hungary. It's de Wit in the white judogi, Choknai in blue. There's no score, and we've got a little over 3 minutes left to go. And there's another one that we can throw in to the mix as well, Lukas Kopalik. All these have been under 100. And what they're realizing is that they've got some attributes and some skills that they can bring to the party at plus 100, which is movement. They're now going to get really comfortable with their weight. They don't have to cut any weight. They can hit the gym and whack on as much as they like. And in the past, these under 100 kilo category fighters have been holding back. They've had to be very, very careful not to go beyond 108, 110. When you start going, you know, you're a under 100 kilo player and you go over 18, 19, 110, you've got a lot of weight to use, to lose,
weight to cut,
to come back, and you're going to be damaging yourself. Whereas if you are naturally 108, you know, 110, and you're freed up and you can do what you like, it's not going to be long before you're 120.
Well, these lighter heavyweights that are going to be coming in where you're talking about Kripalik, that obviously has competed against the likes of Grohl in the under 100 kilograms,
Sasson.
it's just going, and Sasson as well. So this is going to be just a repeat of what they've been doing in the under 100s. I wonder if now the poundage has been put on as far as size and weight.
Does the judo
It's
change?
going to does the judo change, and does the results change in the under from what it was in the under 100s? Because Kripalik dominated quite well within the under 100s. When he moved up, the expectations were so high on him, and he came out well in the opening first competitions, and then after that he found that himself that he needed to put more size on, he needed to put more weight, and he needed to be stronger to be able to move these super heavyweights about. So it'll be interesting to see how that will revolve in the next few months, especially with the build-up with the Olympic Games.
Guram Tushishvili, one of the fighters who's come closest to rattling Teddy Riner.
Yes,
Also
and I've
came
got
up
my
from
eye
under
on
100.
him all the time. I still think that man's, but when you look at the likes of these other athletes that are coming through from the under 100s to the plus.
And for me, what's
gonna
really
mix it up,
nice,
isn't it?
exactly, it's that mix. You're throwing in a lot more, I would refer to them as athletic build type fighters, as opposed to, Kribovokov, who's, short and stocky, the old style, old school.
Yes.
Heavyweight, maybe even Rafael Silva, that kind of weight and that kind of thing.
That sort of super heavyweight soft look, which is the extra poundage that's not the muscle definition.
Vladat Simunescu,
Simunescu,
who's on mat 2. Yeah, so I think we've got some different body types that we can be looking at, and what we're going to have is a greater number of athletic type body types competing towards Tokyo. That's what I think.
I think that's not a bad thing.
Absolutely.
I think that's going to be a very interesting one to see progress in the next few months and the build up towards that Olympic Games in the qualification stages, which will be starting in May. So
won't be long. We'll begin that in Hohhot in China, Inner Mongolia, or as they say in Chinese, Hu He Haute.
did you just make that up, or is that true?
No, I wouldn't do that to you. That is the pronunciation for Hohhot.
All right.
Hu He Haute. Good, isn't it?
I'm very impressed, I must admit, very impressed indeed. But I'm more impressed with what we're seeing right now on this mat number 1, where you've got DeWitt just scoring a Wazari there.
I can't believe that Ruslan Shakbazov has overcome Vladat Simunescu. Disappointment for the Romanian now. Well, that can happen. However, this is a repechage contest. DeWitt is 20-odd seconds away from taking this. He's got Wazari. So we're going to go down to mat number 2, because there's a semi-final about to get underway between Onisa Bukhadze of Georgia. He faces Ota Hyoga of Japan. It's Bukhadze in the white judogi, Ota in blue. And for all you Georgian fans out there, it's a very big Gauma Jurba.
I just love you. I think you're just very impressed. I am sitting here very impressed indeed. Show off.
It's just
Show off.
It's like, tricks. It's party tricks. It's trinkets. It's nothing of real substance.
I'll just get you on the mat and throw you for a Sianagi.
And that will be real substance.
That'll throw the words right out of your mouth.
Right, here we go then, Bukhadze and Ota. And I think for a number of reasons. First of all, we're going to see who it is that Henk Grohl is going to face in the final. But neither of these two are going to scare him.
I don't think so. I really don't. Based on that last performance there, he is oozing with confidence. He's a very strong-looking, strapping lad, as you would say, but he's definitely up for it for this competition, and he's a great favourite for the gold medal here.
Right, well, one of these two will go head-to-head with Grohl. We've already seen Guram Tusishvili exit in round 2. That was unfortunate for the Georgians. And David Mura, he went out. That opened things up. And it was the third of the under 100 kilo fighters that went out, leaving Silva the only one of the top 4 to stay in there. It was Roy Meyer.
Roy Meyer,
Poor Roy. They all went tumbling apart from
they just all
Silva.
fell apart within their judo suits. But it was quite interesting right at the beginning when we were talking about the weights and highlighting the strong contenders. I did say that the results would come from the Pool D and C,
Yes,
and it was a
yes.
very competitive 2 groups. And Tushishvili was one of, obviously, the favourites, along with Grohl as well, that I'd highlighted, and obviously Silva being another major contender.
Zubeda Rekviashvili of Georgia has won his contest down on mat number 1, defeating Murat Khabachirov of Russia. Rekviashvili will fight for a bronze medal in the under 81 kilo category.
Semi-final men under 81 kilo, the W1.
Bagdazi here of Georgia
In white,
picking up a Shido halfway through this contest. Ota trying to get past the very strong defences of the Georgian. Steps across, overstretches himself slightly there with the Osotagari. Finding this match just that little bit more challenging against a very strong opponent. The Georgian arm right over the back, but there you have the counter from Ota. And the Georgian, as you can see, with that right hand trying to throw it over deep onto the back of Ota. Totally dismisses it, knocking the Georgian down onto his face. The Osotagari, oh, it was so close. A little bit deeper there as well. He's threatening with that Osota. The Georgian tempting him, does that one too many times. Well, the second Shido now being awarded to the Georgian.
The W2, golden score.
Ota really battling to try and get past very strong grips of the Georgian. He's had a couple of opportunities stolen from him with the Osota, but there's the Sodi drop. Scoring a Wazari, nicely timed. 26 seconds into golden score.
Now, if Grohl fights up to speed, you can't tell me that these two are going to trouble. Sorry, you know, with the greatest of respect to Bukhadze Ota, you know, Grohl is on a different operating mode at the moment. He's got the bit between his teeth. He fancies his chances here. He's punching the air. He realises he's onto something. This could be your big break, mate. Don't mess it up.
Yes. Don't drop it. Don't drop it. Well, look at that. He's got an opportunity to... Oh, it's a lovely drop there.
Sorry, I was just overcome by the advertisement that I'd seen for a particular airline. I'd been sitting on this airline and they'd showed this safety
yes,
video.
yes, it's
and he
amazing.
says
I
in
know the
there,
one.
"This is your big break, mate. Don't mess it up."
Don't miss it.
So Henk Grol, we're going to go down and see him. And we're going to convey that message to him. This is your big break, Henk. Don't mess it up. Right, down to mat number 1. We're going to have a look at the contest between Antonia Esposito of Italy. He's up against Fujiwara Sotaro of Japan. It's Esposito in the white judogi, Fujiwara in blue, and Esposito is involved in another lengthy battle here. Well, not any longer.
Not definitely not any longer.
Not any longer. How does that happen? I mean, there's a term for that in a place that I live in Trinidad. It's called goat mouth. When you
Goat
say
meat, yeah.
when you say something that it's good and it's going to happen, you know.
It's like putting your foot in your mouth, we say here.
Right, there's just a single score on the board, and the time is ticking away for Esposito, I'm afraid. We may be struggling. We've still got another contest, yeah. Right, let's take a look there. So Fujiwara it is who makes his way into the final of the under 81 kilo category. We've got one more semi-final to bring you. It's going to be Said Molay of Iran. He'll be up against Sasaki Takeshi of Japan. It could be an all-Japan final.
It could be. Yeah.
But I fancy Said Molay because I picked him from the outset to win. My picks haven't been that good today, I'm afraid. But that may change with Said Molay. I hope he's going to do me a favour and pull me out of the problem, because I picked Myra Aguiar, she fell by the wayside. I picked Fanny Esto-Pozvit, she fell by the wayside. And I haven't seen what's happened to Maria Suellen-Altherman.
Got a bit of a death wish really on this.
What about Maria Suellen-Altherman? Does she still live? I'm hoping that she's still
Yeah.
around.
Well, there's some of the weights we need to just double check.
Nashaev and Bukhadze. You just tell me the next one and I'll bring that one up as we watch Malay and Sasaki. Sasaki has thrown Malay for Ippon. Well, well, well.
Winner in blue, representing Japan, Sasaki Takeshi.
Right, we're going to have to wing this. We'll tell you as much as we can.
Sasaki Takeshi will be in the final for men under 81 kilo. Said Molay from Islamic Republic of Iran.
Right then.
For bronze medal.
We have got quite a long break today. It's going to be 2 hours and 25 minutes. But before we go, we're just going to have a bit of a roundup of some of the things that happened today. And we were talking about the plus 100 kilo category. I know this is the last category that we normally do.
Yes.
But today, and I suppose as we go toward Tokyo, if we're really honest, it is going to be the biggest talking point, because the Japanese are going to want to win the plus 100 kilo category in Tokyo at the Olympic Games. It will come full circle if they don't, given what happened with Anton Geesink in the history of judo.
Yes.
We're talking about 1964. It was the first time that they suffered a loss at that kind of level. Are things going to repeat themselves? You know, because they've been searching for that plus 100 kilo category, or what we call the super heavyweight champion, since Yamashita.
Well,
I think that's the last time that they owned the weight category, Yamashita?
I think this is going to be a massive turnaround with the plus 100s, because we've got quite a few of the lighter heavyweights now starting to come, like we've spoke of the under 100 kilograms coming through into the plus. And for us, they're real. They're very athletic, strong judo players, but we've got a batch of them that's been under the 100s that have moved together into the plus, which will change the dynamics, I think, and the actual judo in the plus 100s. I don't think we'll see when it comes down to it, it will be down to the qualifications and who will qualify within their areas and off the World Championships as well, and who will be challenging someone like Teddy Rina. And where Teddy Rina has dominated for so long is because he's been this big athlete that, like I say, an athlete. He has the height, the size, and he has the sort of strength behind him that has kept him on that pedestal for such a long time. And what we've got now is the under 100s starting to come through that will be real contenders against Teddy Rina.
Okay, let's see how we can tie that up with what's happened today in the plus 100 kilo category, because the bronze medal contest, Shakbazov of Russia, I said that they weren't going to get a look in, but they've managed to get someone in there, and Rafael Silva, and then Tamerlan Bashayev and Onisa Bukhadze. So Shakbazov and Silva?
I'll go for Silva.
He's got to bounce back, hasn't he?
I think he's going to really...
number
he has struggled a little bit here today, but I think he will bounce back for that bronze medal. He's got the maturity in him, and he's definitely the judo to back that up.
Bashayev and Bukhadze.
Well, I go with Bashayev.
Yeah,
I think he's looking strong. He's impressed me today.
And having said that the Russians weren't going to make it, I'm going to eat humble pie here and say that Bashayev is likely to take it from Bukhadze. Bukhadze showed well earlier on, but I just thought there were, some shortcomings in the contest after that. The final is between Ota Hyoga of Japan and Henk Grol of the Netherlands.
Well, you would have said, like we were talking about plus heavyweights, we would say that the Japanese have got to be the strongest contenders. But you know what? Based on performance here today, I'm going to go with Grol. I think he could do it.
It could be that, rather like Star Wars, the Force is with Grol. We shall see. Right. Okay. Right. Get rid of that one. Then let's see what we've got with the
pass over on that.
Under 70 kilo category.
Unless you want to go with the under 100s, but
okay. We can go that way. Under 100 kilo category. We haven't really written up a great deal there, so we're going to let you look that up on one of our platforms. Judobase.org is a useful place to go and look at that one. I think it's Tanaka over Kirieva, the Russian. So Maria Portela of Brazil, she's done exactly what she was supposed to. The number one seed has made her way through to the final, and Tanaka Shio will be her opponent in the final. We'll just talk about that final then.
Looking at the performance today, there's been nobody that's touched Portela at all. She really has shined here today. She went in as the number one seed, and I think she'll stay the number one seed and the gold medalist here in the under 70s. I think she will. It will be a battle in the final. There's no doubt about it. But I think the maturity and the experience that Portela has, and the actual judo that she has displayed here in this competition, has been very high class.
Yeah, Tanaka, for me, hasn't really been tested. She only had to overcome Fanny Astor-Pozvit. However, Fanny Astor-Pozvit was my pick to win this. The French player. So to say that she only had to overcome her, she defeated her in round one. She then went on to beat both the Russians, one after the other. So I may have to go for Tanaka. Let's take a look at the next one then. Who have we got? Yeah, the 78s, we haven't had a great look. Again, judobase.org will fill all of that in for you. And then the plus 78 kilo category, Zhenya Chibisova from Russia. Is going to be up against Beatriz Souza of Brazil in the first of the bronze medal contest. Where do you think that's going to go? Chibisova or Souza?
Souza, I think.
Yes.
I've been quite impressed with this young lady. She's good, and I think she'll she'll do okay. She's 19 years of age. She's a youngster coming through. You want her to do well.
The final is between Larissa Čerek of Bosnia-Herzegovina and Maria Suellen Altman of Brazil. What are your thoughts on that, Marita?
Well, there's a massive difference in size, isn't it, between these? And it all depends if Čerek can overcome that size and be able to deal with that contest and do the judo that's necessary. Sometimes she can move the heavyweights, and others she looks very passive out there and can be disqualified with the hand sokimakis. So for me, Čerek, I'm going to go for. I'm just hoping that she has prepared herself for this final match against such a tall athlete.
After that, we will have, what have you got as far as looking at is concerned, the next sheet. 81 kilo category. Well, it will be Fujiwara of Japan. He defeated Esposito of Italy. And Malay lost out to the Japanese Sasaki. It's an all-Japan final because Sasaki beat Rekviashvili and then he beat Molay. So Fujiwara and Sasaki, I think I'm going to agree with Loretta because I know where she's going to go on this one. It's going to be the Japanese who will win this. So I agree entirely with my
yeah, definitely Japan will take the gold medal. But you know what? I'm just hoping it will be a good match. I hope it will be a fight.
Because you know what happened the last time that you and I commentated?
Yes. And I'm just
Japan.
hoping it will be a real battle between these two gentlemen for that gold sweat, and I hope a gold medal will be presented. Right,
we've got one more weight category to look at. It's the under 90 kilo category, and we direct your attention to judobase.org on the IJF.org website. You can find out all the information about who's going to fight who and that sort of information on there. We're going to be back in 2 hours and 20 minutes time with the final block on the final day of competition from the Grand Slam here in Ekaterinburg. But from Loretta Cusack Doyle and myself, it's bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.